I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. I'm with the gang, we packing. We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fuck with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoe, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas, keep. You with me, sheesh. But need OG, keep.
I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, man, we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. On the road, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday, this time at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mafia, long time no see. Shout out to anybody who was in the stream earlier today, guys. And Bitcoin putting in a little bit of a sweep of the all-time high / double top, whatever you want to call it, guys. We've come up and kissed that all-time high, guys. Are we going to eventually get a squeeze above that all-time high into our next key levels of support? Resistance. God, I'm backwards today, guys. We're about to be live for 3 to 4 hours today, so bear with me. But yeah, as we test this all-time high, guys, are we going to get the breakout to our next upper targets? Are we going to get a pullback? If we get a pullback, I want to talk about what we've been looking at as key supports to the downside. If you tuned into earlier live stream. If you guys tuned into the live stream earlier today, you will know that we were looking at some local volume profiles, looking at that deviation below the low. We got the push back into that volume profile, up to the PLC, up to the value area high. We did end up seeing that happen. We were wondering if that was going to be the case. We saw that happen, and we've broken out of that volume profile, retested the value area high as support. Are we about to move up? I'm going to show you guys Market Cipher B, the key levels, everything you need to know for that next move on Bitcoin. And yeah, this is it's exciting, guys. Bitcoin finally getting some moves here. Let's see. We're talking about golden pockets again today. Shout out to Savage. Yeah, I talked a little bit too much about just whatever. We talked a lot about golden pockets yesterday. I'm not going to bring it up. But shout out to you, man. We got K Diggity in the chat. Darren does things. What is going on? Says hashtag short stream. We got Sam Cam in the chat. Seth Shepard. And shout out to K Diggity. Phoebe says, hi, brother. What's going on? We got Crypto Billy in the chat. Said, hey, that beard looking good. Hey, shout out to Crypto Billy. I've been growing this since I was 16. So, yeah, this is as long as it gets, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm just kidding. I do keep it trimmed. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Shouting out the facial hair. I appreciate you for appreciating me. Appreciating you, appreciating my facial hair. Shout out to Crypto Billy. We got BTC Nation in the chat. Or BTC Nation says 102K pullback at the most. Yeah. I want to talk about the possibility of getting the bigger pullback, guys. If we do, overall right now, things are obviously bullish, as we've been looking at ever since we tapped 74K or $74,972. Potential, higher low. We have technically put in a higher high today, just briefly. But yeah, we're going to talk about, what we're looking at for that pullback and what are the chances of coming up into those new all-time highs. And if you missed the earlier live stream today, I will show those upper targets once again, so you guys know where we're looking for that resistance on the way up. So shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. A2 said someone just confused me with Jelly Roll. Shout out to A2. I actually just saw Jelly Roll live. Was it last weekend or the weekend before? Yeah, it was weekend before last. I saw Jelly Roll and Post Malone live. That was a pretty fire show, but that's pretty funny, bro. Can I take a picture with you? I'm not that guy. Shout out to A2. We got CDE in the chat. Said sell in May and walk away, they said. Shout out to CDE. Yeah, we actually talked about that. We're going to jump into the charts right now, guys. But we talked about that recently. They say sell in May, walk away. And we had Tony look it up live, saying running how legit that actually is. And it turns out that it's kind of like a old myth. It's not really, if you look back at the previous performances in May, it's not as a high hit rate as you would think. It does seem like that is the case, but yeah, I don't know. The numbers didn't say so, and here we are at higher prices. Pretty crazy. But shout out to Jesse. He's our like police, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button if you appreciate this free content and the multiple streams a day. Go ahead and smash that like button. It's the easiest and most free way to support the channel and push us out into that algorithm to grow the CandleMafia into a more unstoppable force than we already are. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. I'm going to stop yapping here. I know I yap on the internet for a living, but let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So obviously, let me just go ahead and hide the TA here. Obviously, why is this lower third up? Is that gonna go away? Anyway, if we there we go. If we take a look here, guys. Obviously, we have come up on Bybit, guys. We basically just double tapped the all-time high, right? On Bitstamp and Binance, a couple of other exchanges, we actually have come up and broken above that all-time high. We swept the high. As you guys know from earlier today, I did take that short position, locked in about $500 in profit, and that is still running with my stop loss at break even. Let's see it here. I did move my, where we at? Bada boom, bada bing. Let me come up to a lower time frame. So yeah, I did actually move my stop loss here. Not that I'm putting myself at more risk, but I did have it in profit, but I did just crack it above this high. I put it back to break even, but I am still holding this position. You can see $500 locked in, still got $576 unrealized. In case we do continue down, I'm going to hold a portion of that position in case this double top does end up giving us a bigger correction to the downside. I don't want to miss out on that move. If I get stopped out, I'll make a quick $500. No big deal. Can't cry about that. But yeah, we did, I don't even say degenerately. I talked about why I entered this trade earlier on the stream. Earlier today, but yeah, it's still like a calculated trade to be made, but obviously shorting all-time highs is typically a very, very sketchy thing to do. But I am still holding a short position, profits locked in, stop loss at break even, so we'll see what happens with that. We'll keep an eye on that over the stream. But again, we did sweep those highs, did take that little short position, and again, guys, I don't expect this short. It's kind of just like a, I don't want to say a Hail Mary, right, because it's not just like, it is just looked at as a scalp, right, until proven otherwise. If we wind up getting a bigger breakdown, then great, we're short from the high. And if it comes up and stops us out, we still make money. And if anybody's out there telling you can't take guaranteed winning trades, we just did it live in front of your eyes earlier today. So, yeah, that was kind of the thought process behind there. And then as we are looking at our bits, Bybit chart, obviously Bitstamp swept the high, but Bybit kind of just double tapped the high here for a potential double top. Not that I trade those patterns, but, obviously, you could kind of see those double tops give you a little bit of a pullback. But earlier on the stream, right, we were getting that big down to the downside, just crashing down, wrecking all the longs that were FOMOing in at the top. We absolutely watched those out of the market. And hilariously enough, guys, we pulled this volume profile live on the stream, and we deviated below that low. We saw that little 1-minute bull div. Not that I necessarily look at that as a massive, long opportunity, but hey, what happens here? We deviate above the low where we were looking for a potential reclaim of the value area low to then start our journey into the POC. And then hopefully our thought process was to get above that POC and then break above the value area high where we thought, hey, maybe there's a little bit of low volume here where we could start to see that aggressive push to the upside. And we did actually cool off here, guys, and retest the local value area high as support. Now, the question is, are we just going to continue up here, reapproach the high, and put in new all-time highs tonight? Let's talk about it, right? Overall, I am still bullish, right? Obviously, market structure still massively bullish as we looked at earlier today, right? Locally, on the daily here, massive bullish market structure. Long-term, weekly, monthly time frames, just massive, massive uptrend here, right? This is why we lean more bullish and why we have been even approaching our key level of resistance, sitting at that macro value area high here. Let me just go ahead and hide some of this stuff to clean up the chart, and I'll hide that scalp range as well, just so we don't get over confused, right? Obviously, we were tapping resistance, but we went against that strategy and said, hey, sure, we're at resistance. Sure, we have some bearish confirmations, but that context is bullish, putting in higher lows and higher highs. So we're going to go ahead and kind of fade that general thought process and look for higher prices where we did push. And if you did not watch the stream earlier today and you watched last night's stream, you guys know that that daily and weekly naked point of control was the next key levels that we were looking at. We have the bada boom, right? We had the daily naked point of control at about 107,950, and then you had the weekly MPOC at about $109,000. We pushed up into these levels, broke above it, tapped the all-time high, and now we're kind of just bing-bonging around here. So I want to talk about the local levels that I'm watching and kind of what we're expecting next year. Now, the biggest key level of support on the chart right now, in my opinion, is still going to be, right, the major level to watch below right now, and we're going to use the context of this local volume profile as well, but just in general, if I hide this for just a second, obviously, remaining above this value area high is going to generally be the thing that I'm looking at to anticipate the continuation to the upside, right? Because when you're looking at the value areas, break out of the value area high, the hope here is that this is a breakout of that range, right? So anytime we come down, you really want to stick on top of that value area high for the continuation to the upside. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't slip back below it, slightly. But for the most part, I really don't want to lose about $105,000. If we do, obviously, short from the high, that'd be nice to see the short play out a little bit more. If we do break down into that volume profile, I wouldn't say that that is the end of the rally. We're not going back up to all-time highs, but it just might be a little bit more of a long and confusing ride into the actual new all-time highs. Like I said, obviously, we didn't really wick that high up, right? This came in at about 109,881. Not really the most aggressive, not the most aggressive, all-time high break, right? So, when I talk about putting in new all-time highs, I'm not talking about like a couple of dollars. I'm talking about pushing into the higher targets that we're looking at, which I will go over in just a second. And listen, guys, I'm not going to lie. The targets have been getting hit perfectly lately. Hopefully, our Fibonacci extension targets up here can get hit just as perfectly as the local targets. But, at the end of the day, right, just looking at this as a volume profile, go from the low to the POC to the high. The hope here is not to get stuck back in this volume profile and start to work our way back down towards that POC. Now, if we were to do that, if we pull our Fibonacci retracements, I'm going to pull it from the start of like the real impulse here all the way to the high. Yeah, I mean, $93,000. I'm not necessarily anticipating that right now. I don't really want to talk about like the super lower targets because like we're pretty much bullish here. But, you know, we do have the macro golden pocket sitting at 93, 94K, where we also have, we all know, a lot of liquidity sitting down here. I just don't know if we're going to get that pullback, to be honest, right? Like the hope here to like remain aggressively bullish is to hopefully just really remain outside of this range, get the breakout. And, you know, the fact that we have come up and we have already kind of retested this level a couple of times, it is looking pretty good. So my general thought process is we can still see new all-time highs, and I'm going to talk about the targets in a minute. But yeah, we're breaking out of the range here, guys. Like if we do get back down below that value area low, or value area high, we just have to think to ourselves, sure, we have the local range right here, which I will pull up. We do have the local range down there, so just so you guys are aware of these levels, if we break back down into the value area high, get stuck underneath it, can't break back out, I will be using this as our guide to lower prices. Maybe come down, maybe come back down in below that value area high, push to the PLC, value area low. We do have a little bit of liquidity sitting down here. It's nothing really that aggressive, but that's going to be the context, right? And then within this range, if we are still going to just kind of fake out the value area high and finally break out, again, it's very hard to call exactly what this is going to look like. But if we did, we're going to use that as context, understanding that, you know, the shorts, if we do come down there, right, obviously the shorts were to be had on the pump to the upside. And then once we come down here, right, I'm not going to be looking to short at support, right? If we come down to that value area low, we could be aware that we have liquidity below. Maybe we can reclaim that range and then finally work our way back out of there. Ideally, obviously, we hope to hold above the value area high. If we can hold above the value area high, that is very bullish in my opinion. If we pull back in here, we can just look for a little bit more of a pullback. And then obviously $100,000 still does remain a key level of support, but to be quite honest with you, yeah, I would really just prefer to hold the value area high around about $105,000, right? The technical level sits at about 105,761, but obviously, you know, sometimes you could slip them, front run these levels. So I do look at it as a little bit of a zone. 105K could be like looked at as a psychological level as well. So, you know, if we do pull back, biggest key level of support right now, value area high, 100%. Stay above there. Doorway to the all-time highs and beyond is open. And yeah, other than that, I mean, we saw the local price action play out just about perfectly as what we were looking at on the live stream earlier today. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. Obviously, we deviated below that value area. Come on down to a lower time frame. Right, we had this lower value area. We came back in. We went to the value area low, deviated below. Let me draw that box real quick just so we can get an idea. Shout out to anybody who watched that live stream earlier today. I'm happy that this played out because obviously the volume profiles are not going to be 100% accurate, but I mean, I'm not going to lie, right? There's a reason I look at this stuff. It's because it plays out much more often than it doesn't, right? So you deviate below that low, and I just kind of showed this to show you guys, like, whether you're looking at a volume profile on the 1 minute, the 10 minute, the 15 minute, the 30 minute, the 4 hour, the weekly, the daily, it does not matter. They play the same way, right? It's all just looking at that rotation of value down to the low. This is looked at as a cheap asset, right? Get back into the range, reclaim it. Oh, we front ran the POC. No, we're going down. Never mind. We're going to the POC in the value area high. And I'll be honest, the macro level is 105K, but locally here, guys, I would be looking at this local range as well. Value area high sitting at about 107,744. POC sitting at about $107,500. And then the value area low, again, sitting here at 106.6. Not going to lie, I did take a breakout trade. Yeah, we did take a long position yesterday, and I'm unfortunately not holding that position anymore, guys. And during the live stream earlier today, I was pretty close to just taking like kind of like a degenerate long position here on that value area low. Again, 1 minute bullish divergence, not really a huge massive signal to look for higher prices, but in an aggressive uptrend, guys, you know, we did still technically put in a higher low. I mean, this thing is still bullish in my opinion. So, you know, if we could just stay above this value area high sitting at 107,748, maybe we do come back up, because on the live stream we were looking at, well, hey, if we could get back out of this range, we had this kind of low volume area. Quick move up equals quick move down. So once we broke into that area, we expect that fast move to the upside, and then we get another fast move down. But at that point, right, we were talking about the rotation of volume, right, or the rotation of value, right? Like understanding that price always seeks fair value, and if we do break out of this local range, where would we anticipate price? If we yeet on out of here, where are we going to anticipate price to go? Well, hey, you do have a little bit of a volume profile up here, and the hope here would be, and these are, again, just local levels here, guys. When you impulse out of this range, this is a value area, fair price for Bitcoin, right? Within that value area, if you impulse out of here, where are you going to get gravitated to? The previous area of balance, like playing out absolutely perfectly. And hopefully that shows you guys, right? Like, I don't just say this stuff. This is literally what we see on the charts every single day. And perfect example of what we talked about with the auction market theory. Leave a value area. More often than not, sure, Bitcoin can create new value, but more often than not, you are going to look for price to get gravitated towards that previous area of balance. Very nice that we're holding support here. So right now, for the short term, if we want to get a quick if we want to get the push up sooner than later, the key level to break, in my opinion, is going to be this value area low. Sitting right here at about 108,706. If we can get inside there, we can look to move our way into the POC, into the value area high. And at that point, maybe this little tiny higher low that we made is the higher low before coming back up to all-time highs. If we get rejected from here, again, it's going to be an if this, then that statement. But again, very nice to see that happen. And I pray that if you tuned into the live stream earlier today, you see what we're talking about with the rotation of value and price always seeking fair value and using these volume profiles as gravitational areas on the chart that price goes to. It just plays out perfectly. You don't always need to, all you need is the ebbs and the flows. All you need is the volatility, the move up, the move down. If you could understand how to find this stuff in the market, even on this move down here, or up here, right, you can make a decent amount of money if you're out there trading. And if you're, and you can make it up or down, which is very, very nice. So right now, locally, in the bullish case, I'm going to take a look at Market Cypher B in a minute. If we're just going to continue the aggressive uptrend, like I said on the stream earlier, this will be a nice higher low to make. And, maybe we come up in here, get out of this value area, and crack into new all-time highs. If we do that, the next targets to the upside are going to be, let's talk about those real quick, right? So if we do, let me see, do I still have them on the chart? Bada boom, bada bing. I guess not. I'll repull them here real quick. And let me just hide some of this stuff so I don't completely confuse you guys. Take off the local range. And then I'm just going to kind of just going to grab all this stuff. I'm going to have to reorganize this chart, hide all those local levels. And I'll hide this and this. Okay, so if we do continue up, let's say that aggressive situation does play out. Next targets to the upside, guys. We're going to look at those Fibonacci extensions. And these are the same levels we looked at earlier today. And to be quite honest with you, all week, $112,000 and $114,000. That is the next major area to the upside that I will be watching. I think I deleted the box, unfortunately, but I will just redraw it here, right? So if we do wake up tomorrow and we're getting that next move to the upside, this is 100% going to be the area to look at. 112,463 and 114,256. That is the next major target to the upside. And if we pull up our, where we at? If we pull up our liquidation heat map, where's it at? Right here. Let me go ahead and just run a refresh here on the 1 month chart. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on, actually, CoinGlass. Come on. Load it up. There we go. I'll pull this up. Right, so looking at the liquidation heat map, you can see here, really between about $111,000 and $114,000. We do have a nice little area of liquidity there, and that could act as a magnet for price. The other big area of liquidity that we have sits down here at about $93,000, excuse me, which I've talked about just before, earlier in the stream. When you pull that golden pocket from the impulse to the high, you can see it does come down here to about $93,000 to $94,000. Do I want that big cool off? Absolutely not. I am feeling pretty bullish up here. I'm not just gonna get like I'm not going to fight the trend too much here, but if we did get a massive pullback, things get super scary. Just understand you do have liquidity there, massive golden pocket as well. I'm not necessarily expecting that. Like I always say, liquidity does not necessarily, just because we have liquidity down here, does not guarantee that we have to go down there and get it. I think a lot of people think that with liquidity, like, oh, we can't leave all that liquidity behind, but you 100% can, right? Nothing is saying that we have to come back down to 76K, right? Like, eventually when you leave a low, that liquidity is going to get left behind at some point, right? So at some point, the market makers have to let those longs or those shorts just hold their positions and never liquidate them, right? But just to understand, like, where the biggest levels of liquidity are in the market, $93,000 to $94,000, and then between about $111,000 and $114K, which is very nice because it does line up perfectly. Does line up perfectly with the key level and key target to the upside, making this not our next, not even just our key level of resistance to look at to the upside, but also a potential magnetic target. That's what we're looking at. Are we going to see a $112,000 to $114,000 Bitcoin sooner than later? I, please, for love of God, hope so. And then just above that, we do have about $120,000 sitting up here. That's going to be the next target if we break 114.2. And at that point, I would show the other targets as well, like the larger targets. But I think 112 to 114 is like really the next target. And to be honest, that $120,000 extension level, from that Fibonacci pull that I just showed, is pretty close to our next targets anyway, right? Like 118,256 up to about 124K. That's the second level that I showed earlier today. It is worth looking at, but again, we'll work our way up there, right? Maybe we're just going to squeeze up there. So it is worth looking at, right? 118 to 124K, right? But those local extension levels, obviously, between 112 and really 119.5, we're going to come up and probably interact with these in some form or fashion before we eat off into those bigger targets, right? So yeah, to be quite honest with you guys, going live earlier in the day, this is kind of the same stuff that we saw earlier in the day, the same stuff that we looked at, other than just seeing the local volume profiles play out exactly as we would want. So the local stuff there is to update, right? It was like, oh, hey, nice, we got above the got above that value area. We flipped the value area high to support. If we continue up, definitely going to be looking at this as our next value area low or doorway to higher prices. But overall, guys, we're putting in higher lows and higher highs. I do feel bullish, and not until we really decisively start losing 105K would I look for a bigger drop down towards about $102,000 towards the bottom of our scalp range value area low. Sitting right here, right? And again, just letting those volume profiles guide us on where price is likely to go next, right? We use them on the higher time frames. We use them on the lower time frames to predict these little 2.3% moves. We use them on the higher time frames to predict the much larger fills of volume or fills of value from, actually get rid of this, get rid of that. We use them on the higher time frames to predict the much larger moves, call it 17%. And even on the super macro, looking at the previous range, macro volume profile from 2021, we were able to predict the move from 30K, 143% up to about 73K, right? So yeah, like the volume profiles are absolutely goated. And shout out to anybody who watched the live stream earlier. You could just see that even in the local moves. It's like price action's fractal. It's going to do the same thing on these little time frames as it does on the higher time frames. You just have to understand the difference. When you deviate below a 1 minute value area and you go to the value area high, that's probably going to be like a 0.5 to 1% move, not a 95% move or 75% move, if that makes sense. So let me check it out, chat, really, really quickly here. Jesse says, Jesse is our like police. He says, 1K likes needed as always, in my opinion. Smash that like button, Mafia. Go ahead and smash it, guys, if you appreciate the free content. Let's see. Yo, shout out to, I think it says Mr. Bling. Shout out to Mr. Bling. Says, thank you. Your fixed range volume profile tutorials changed the way I look at the markets. Do you have any other videos on how to draw accurate Fibonacci levels? Also, please give a shout out to Bogdan. Shout out to Bogdan. Let's go. So there you go. There's your shout out. And yes, I do have a Fibonacci tutorial in the beginner series. If you are new here, check out the beginner series. This is not an inhaler. I know a lot of people think this is an inhaler. It's actually a whistle. It's a whistle. Sometimes it's like I don't know. But anyway, don't put the blue L's in chat. I don't know what those are. Please don't do that. But I do have the beginner series. If you're new here, check out the beginner series. It's like a little free mini course to get up to speed with what we look at here and how we predict these moves in the market. And it's 100% free. So make sure you check that out. And I do have a Fibonacci, not only how to set up your Fibonacci retracements to get the right levels, how to pull them, but also exactly what you can look for to start trading them, right? Like some of the confirmations that you want to look at those Fibonacci's, like when to use them, what signals to look at as you push into them to look for continuations. Oh, man, there's the blue L's. Oh, man. I don't know what that is. And it's not even like this one. This is a yellow L. I don't know what that is, but it is a whistle, guys, not an inhaler. My lungs are just fine, guys. My lungs are just fine. It's a two-stream day, guys. It's a two-stream day. Sometimes you got to blow the whistle twice. Anyway, let's see. Yo, shout out to Newbie Crypto says, what is that blue thing? I don't know. I don't know what that is. But anyway, guys, they look like work socks to me. Yo, that's what I'm saying. Shout out to Greg, George's lawyer. He's a literal lawyer, and he's saying they're socks, so we have to believe him. He's a lawyer, guys. But anyway, we're going to take a look at some altcoins. We'll keep an eye on Bitcoin here. But if we pull back, just so you guys understand, these are the local levels I'm looking at. And again, I don't love covering like every nitty-gritty level here on the live stream. We cover that more in the Discord. Because I know a lot of people watching are just kind of here like, hey, is Bitcoin about to start the next leg up, right? And I know there's a lot of people out there that don't have time to look at the charts, all day. That's what I'm here for. I'll let you know if there's anything important to pay attention to. But at the end of the day, not when in doubt, but like just keep things nice and simple. You just want to look at your volume profile, right? At the end of the day, guys, listen, are we going to get a daily bearish divergence here? Higher highs on price action, double top on the all-time high, get the higher high on your price action, lower high on your momentum waves. Daily bear div brings us down a little bit more. sure, maybe we can then look for a bit of a deeper retracement. But until we break $105,600, and again, it's a decisive loss at that level. I wouldn't mind slipping below it slightly, but ideally, we just want to stay on top of this range. The idea is not to get back into this range because at that point, even if you are anticipating higher lows and higher highs potentially, you still have to look at that as like a little bit more bearish, right? Because once you get stuck under here, you're going to have to anticipate based off the laws of the volume profile that the next place for price to go is the POC. And then once you lose that, you're going to be looking down towards that value area low. And it doesn't mean it has to play out, especially if the context is bullish. But it's just annoying because then you have to like keep it in the back of your head like, oh, man, am I going to anticipate that fulfill of the range? Or are we anticipating a higher low and a higher high? And we were able to do that perfectly in here as we were tapping up against this resistance level. We just understood the context was bullish, so we looked for that squeeze up. But it's low-key like a stressful situation to be in, right? Because you're counter trading your typical strategy. But luckily, we were able to identify that and be on the right side of that. So, shout out to Mike Reinhardt. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. He says, how do you get your volume profiles? Shout out to Mike. If you come on over to TradingView here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 tools down. Under projection, you'll see fixed range volume profile. And if you want a little bit of a saucier volume profile, you could just come into your indicators tab and type in my name, Frankie Candles. And you will see Frankie Candles Essentials by Lux Algo. Beautiful, beautiful, 100% free indicator. I have nothing to gain from this. There's no email. No, you don't have to sign up for anything. Just come in. You can literally get it on your chart right this second. Click it. It is literally a volume profile with some extra added sauce. You pick your range. You want to identify the sideways price action. And not only do you get your volume profile, but you also get these nice signals, right? And not to be traded as a signal, but it lets you know when you're getting those bearish confirmations above a value area high, which is where you want to look for shorts. And that it lets you know, like, hey, you're deviating above your price, value area high. This is overvalued. You're getting bearish confirmations. If you get stuck into the range, you're going to be looking at the POC, and then you can look to ride back down to the low. And you can see we had another bearish signal up here at the value area high for another fulfill of the range. And I didn't even change any of these settings here. If I go ahead and change this to you could use the RSI for your divergences, or what I like to do is I like to look at market cipher B for my divergences, and you could just go ahead and where's it at? Market cipher B, light blue wave, bada boom. And then you can use your, this will use market cipher to identify those divergences. And it also lets you know when those divergences are happening outside of your value area. Because again, when you trade the volume profiles, the shorts at the highs, because price is overvalued inside that area, inside the value area, is considered the fair price, right? When you deviate above, that's where you look for shorts. When you deviate below, that's where you look for longs. Not any time you deviate, but when you get those bullish signals. And this indicator is low-key pretty good at identifying that stuff. You can see sauce can. Get in there, give us the sauce to the downside, deviate below the low, bullish divergences, get back in, back to the high, bearish confirmations into the value area high, back down to the low, so on and so forth. So yeah, and that's 100% free if for whatever reason you can't use the one in TradingView. I think it's free. I don't think you need the one in TradingView you should be able to use. But if not, and you're looking for a little bit of extra sauce to kind of easily break down how I trade and how I look at the markets, that indicator, shout out to Lux Algo, They did a beautiful job making that indicator very usable for beginners to try to understand how we trade the value areas, right? Because you might think to yourself, like, oh my God, we're peaking out here, but I don't know if I should be looking for a short, if I should be looking for a move to the upside. Those signals will let you know if you're getting those bearish confirmations. And I want to be clear. It's not 100% hit rate. You can't just short a sauce can or long a sauce can. Obviously, context and all that is going to be very important as well. But it's a nice place to start for the beginners. And shout out to Al Jr. A bunch of people have been absolutely loving that indicator and making some good money with it. So shout out to you guys. Let's see. Shout out to K Bus says, Frankie, can you please show me how to get the that many time frames on the top bar, please? Shout out to K Bus. We're going to take a look at the altcoins in a second, but if you go through the beginner series, I have a TradingView masterclass that will show you how to do everything and set up TradingView exactly how I have it here. So go check that out. But at the end of the day, I'll just answer your question really quickly, just to answer it quick. Just come on down here and then hit add custom interval, but all the ones that pop up here are the ones that you put the star on, right? So if I wanted to have the 5-second chart, I click the star, and look at that. Now I have the 5-second chart, star it, 45-second chart, etc. Right? So you just have to favorite them in here, and then they will pop up on your top bar. So there you go. And these are just generally my favorite time frames to look at. Doesn't mean that you have to look at all these time frames, right? This is just how I look at the market, right? We've got the high time frames, daily, 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, 6-day, weekly, monthly. And then we have the higher hourly time frames, the medium hourly time frames, and then we kind of have just the lower time frames below. I like to find my environment and the bias as far as the long-term moves on the higher time frames, and then I work my way down. When I look for my trade entries, I might find a setup on the 4-hour, but I'm going to go down to that lower time frame, like the 15-minute or the 5-minute, to find my actual entry trigger to get in, at a decent price, right? I didn't short a 1-hour candle close here to catch my short that I'm in right now from the top, right? I entered this on a very low time frame, right? If you entered this on a 1-hour candle close, you would have literally entered down here, and then you would have just gotten absolutely slammed, right? So even though it looks like, hey, maybe we're going to get a drop to the downside, those lower time frame bearish signals, right? Bearish divergence. And just for anyone who missed the stream earlier today, the reason I took this short position, although, shorting an all-time high is very dangerous. It's kind of like, it's a little degen, but I did not just enter that because we hit the all-time high, right? We had bearish divergences, higher highs on our price action, lower highs on our momentum waves. One of the best reversal signals you can look for, even if it doesn't play out a lot. More often than not, these bearish divergences will give you some kind of a significant, some kind of a pullback at least, right? So we had the bearish divergences and the SFP, meaning a wick above the level and a closure down below. Not on the Bybit chart, but on the Binance chart and the Bitstamp chart, we got the SFP. So I fired on that trade, and now I'm in profit, locked in profit with stop loss at break even over here on Blowfin, right? Up about a little over $1,000 now. So there we go. All right, let's continue on here. That's pretty much all I got on Bitcoin, to be quite honest with you guys. Just a local update. Other than that, still just looking for those next targets up here, 12 to 114, 112 to 114, and then 118 to 124 is the next big level. But again, I'm not anticipating that necessarily tomorrow, hopefully. But yeah, other than that, we're kind of just still chilling up here, bing-bonging around after that little correction off the all-time high. Let's see. Shout out to Tales of Mystery. He said, Frankie's talking so fast, dude needs an inhaler. Oh, yeah, that's not untrue. That's not untrue. I mean, no. I do talk fast. I don't know what an inhaler is, though. Let's see. Yeah, you could just, shout out to Mr. Bling says you could just type the time frame you want. Yeah, it's like if you want to go to, like, the 12-minute, hit enter. It'll bring you right to the 12-minute. You do 15-minute, 46-minute, right? The 17-minute, the biggest slept-on time frame, guys. I'm a big 17-minute time frame guy. I'm just kidding. I've never looked at the 17-minute time frame, I don't think. I think it's the first time I've ever seen it. But, yes, you could type in the time frames as well. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Dad says 16.8 gazillion by 2033. Let's go. Yeah, shout out to Crypto Dad. I would say that as well. Probably Bitcoin to, yeah. I would say, I don't know, between 16.8 and 17.2 gazillion is my target. Shout out to Crypto Tad. Let's get it. Let's see. V-Sun said, Frankie, I saw some blue L's in the chat. What was that for? 420 was last month. Shout out to V-Sun. This is crazy. But anyway, let's continue on here, guys. Did I just unplug my mic? Can you guys still hear me? Spazzing out here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the altcoins. Shout out to Chemistry Bro in the chat. Welcome in, bro. Good to see you. He says, next phase of upside has begun. Hoping so. Yeah, shout out to Chem Bro. Me too, bro. Me too. And, just to kind of break that down, guys, what we looked at earlier today, monthly green dot, 2-day. Look at this 2-day green dot printing with the month, and this was what we looked at not only on Bitcoin but the altcoins as well. This green dot is printed on the 2-day now. If we can get this 2-day money flow to cross over into the green, guys, typically when you get these 2-week money flow 2-day money flow crossovers into the green, I'll just mark these out really quickly with a monthly green dot. Almost like in the past, it has literally marked the legs to the upside, right? 2-day money flow over. Look at the first one first. 2-day money flow crossover, just in line with that monthly green dot. Big leg up. Next monthly green dot prints. Shortly after, you get the 2-day money flow crossover. And on that 2-day money flow crossover, the monthly green dot prints, you get a little push up. 2-day money flow crossover money flow indicates the overall trend. Look at this. Deep green money flow wave. Trend continues up. You get pullbacks. This was a little scary for a lot of people, right? Oh, God, right? But we do continue up on that trend. That 2-day money flow the money flow always indicates the overall trend. The red and green dots indicate the ebbs and the flows in the market. Money flow indicates this. Red and green dots indicate these, right? So again, 2-day money flow crossover, monthly green dot, leg up. 2-day money flow crossover, monthly green dot, next leg up. We now have money flow on the 2-day, looking to cross into the green. Right? Doesn't mean you can't ebb or flow to the downside, but that 2-day money flow crosses into the green with that monthly green dot. Is that where we are finally going to get that move up to our next bigger targets between 114 to 112K and maybe even 118 to 124? Now, the bigger macro targets, I've talked about these yesterday, but I will just bring them up before we move on to the altcoins. I will just say, looking at a higher time frame, pulling our Fibonacci extension, right? Or pulling the fib from the high to the low of 2021 down to the bear market of 2022. Next major pit stop in this bull market, guys. The next area that I anticipate to be something like what we hit here between 91 and 102K, or 109K, but between 137 to 156K. This is really 155K. That fib must have gotten pulled wrong. I might have pulled it to the wrong. About 155K, 137 to 100, 136 to 155K. This is an area where I would be interested in taking a little bit more profit on my Bitcoin, right? I took a tiny bit off here, but as this was my first target in the bull market, if you guys watch my older long-term Bitcoin deep dives, you will know this was our first target. I took not a lot. I took like very small profit here, right? If we continue up, that's that next major target. But we have a lot of the local targets that we just looked at that we're probably going to bing bong around on. But at the end of the day, the next area where, we might get a big correction if we can make it up to 136 to 154K. This is probably the next time where if we get a correction, people are going to be thinking, is this the bear market? Very similar to what we saw here. So just keep in mind those are the higher targets. And if we're going to get a big move up and we're going to if we're going to start seeing Bitcoin just go parabolic here, could be the start into these next fib levels. Honorable mention at about 209K. I don't know why this is coming up. Boom. There we go. 209K. So yeah, there you go. I'm not waiting to sell my Bitcoin at 209K though, right? I'm going to take profit along the way, and then maybe I'll hold a little bit of my bag to see if we can hit 209K. And be careful, guys. Once we get up here, if we can get up here, just understand this is where people start to call, JP Morgan calls for $700,000 Bitcoin in 2025. This time is different. This time is different. Hopefully it is different. I think at some point the this time is different people are going to be right. And every cycle has been a little bit different, as I always say. So I do think there is truth to, like, this time is different. Like, every time there's little quirks in different cycles. But just understand, we will very likely see another bear market, right? It doesn't mean Bitcoin's going to zero, but it's just how the market moves. And yeah, that's just be careful, because that's where people are going to start calling for crazy price targets. And when they did that last cycle, 100K, 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 boom, right down to 15K. So just understand that happens every time. I've been through 3 crypto cycles. It happens every single time. The bears want lower. The bears here wanted 10K. They didn't get it. The bulls wanted 100K. They didn't get it, right? You don't want to be bullish. You don't want to be greedy on the bull side or the bear side. Shout out to Blockchain Domain. Thank you so much for the super chat. Said taking profits. What's that? Shout out to Blockchain Domain. I will say, listen, if and I know you're joking, bro, but listen, if you're out there and you don't like taking profits, I mean, I would say if you're not going to take profits on any asset, Bitcoin's probably the one, because if you don't ever take profits on Bitcoin, eventually, if you wait long enough, you are going to end up being in much more profit than you were to begin with, right? Just scroll back all the way back here, right? Oh my God, I didn't take profits. That's okay. You're back in profit. Oh my God, now you're just endlessly in profit, right? You're probably never going back down to, $1,000. Unless, I don't know, unless something crazy happens. Who knows? Anything is possible. But yeah, we'll continue to keep an eye here on Bitcoin, see if we could squeeze up there. And again, we are going to be watching the local levels here. I'll pull them up real quick. That local volume profile. Bueller. Okay. Okay, this is the Bitstamp chart. That's why. Let's pull it up here. Right, we're going to watch those local volume profiles. We'll see. I'm going to set an alert here on that value area low to see if we can break above it and continue up through that profile. On the live stream earlier, we went through this one, and hopefully these alerts that go off mean that we're going up rather than down, because every alert that we hit on the live stream earlier meant we were going lower, and now hopefully it means that we're going higher. So we'll see if we can crack above that doorway to higher prices, sitting at 108,706. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of Bueller. Shout out to Giga Longbottom. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the altcoins here. If we get to 150K-ish, how long do we get the bear? How low do we go in the bear? I mean, all we can do is kind of compare to history and assume that it will rhyme in some form or fashion, right? So if we went to 150K, my best guess, right? And again, this can change over time, but like, let's say we go to 150K, right? see like a 75-ish % pullback. I mean, 37K. I mean, that would be and I know that sounds crazy right now, but yeah, we'll have to see. The higher you go, obviously, the less deep the pullback will be. But, traditionally, Bitcoin pulls back, in this cycle, roughly, we hit about 76, 77%. I did this the other day as well. I mean, this is really all you can do to try to predict how deep the bear market will go. And then you try to figure out with timing, right? The way we were able to call the bottom here and predict that this was likely going to be the bottom of the bear market was we were on weekly bull div watch, right? Price wiggles down, puts in lower lows on your price action. We looked for the higher low on our momentum wave, indicating a potential massive bottom for potentially the bottom of the bull market. My guess, right? My prediction was a weekly bullish divergence between 12 and 14K. We put in the weekly bull div at 15.3. You're not going to get it to the dollar every time. That's about as close as you could get it trying to call the top or the bottom of a market. But yeah, and that's kind of like what I would do, right? Like, and you time it with the cycle too. It's like, well, have we had enough of bear market here for this to like finish up 4-year cycle wise? If so, then hey, you have bullish signals, you have key support, right? You're retesting the all-time high. That's a nice bottom signal. And we have videos where I drew it out on the chart, right? I'm like, well, hey guys, if we drop here and we put in lower lows, right? I did have it pulled a little bit lower to 14 to 12K, but it's like, hey, you're not going to get it perfect every time, but if you know what to look for, you could pretty much, you're going to have your best chances of calling the bottom or a top, right? With the weekly bear div. But in 2018, we had a drop of about 84%, call it. Right, so it does get a little bit less and less over time. So maybe we don't see a full 77% correction from 150K if we get up there, right? So 150, right? Whoops. Maybe we get a 72%, right? Maybe it's 40K. Maybe we go up a little higher than 150K, so that pullback is retesting the previous all-time high at 66K. Right? Maybe we go up to like 200 and something K and we pull back there. But it's going to be really hard. We're going to have to cross that bridge when we get there. But that's kind of how I go about it. But let's go ahead and check in on some altcoins here. If you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat. And Rob the Crypto Stomp will let us know count with the votes and let us know what we're looking at. Rob, let's do like 3 altcoin requests and then I'll freestyle some of them. Let's see. Shout out to YouTuber says this is ridiculous. There won't be an 80% pullback. I agree. I don't think it will be 80%. I think it will be less than 80%. That's what we just went over. But let's see. It was 80% back in 2018. And then it was less here. Right? I want to make sure I'm clear here. 77%, right? So we can anticipate if it has gotten shorter over time, deeper in the previous cycles, in the 80% in 2018, in the upper 70% in 2022, well, maybe we'll be in the lower 70%, right? Which is not 80%. Shout out to YouTuber. But anyway, let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. He's new. Give him a break. Shout out to K Diggity, bro. Phoebe says hi, K. Phoebe sounded like the subway there for a second. Shout out to K Diggity. Let's see. Bada boom. Shout out to YouTuber. He said we didn't have ETFs the first cycle. Exactly why I would expect a less of a pullback. As the asset matures and more money enters the asset and the market cap goes up, as an asset matures, the asset becomes less and less volatile. That's why the dumps on the stock market, that's why Bitcoin is so much more volatile than the stock market, right? That's why we see these crazy rips to the upside, these crazy bear markets. It has a lot to do with the fact that there's not as much capital in Bitcoin, right? As the market cap grows, you will just, in general, get less pullbacks, right? The pullbacks will be less severe, and the rips will, unfortunately, also be less aggressive. And ETFs, institutional money, will grow the market cap, giving that exact effect. So there you go. Yo, shout out to Larksy in the chat. What is going on, bro? Good to see you again. What do you think about the super cycle theory? Shout out to Larksy. I mean, I think maybe it happens at some point, but again, this is something that's talked about every single cycle. It's just, like I say, right? Like this time is different. People will be right at some point. But it's like they've been wrong every single time until now. And I know every cycle is a little bit different. People will be like, well, we put in an all-time high before the halving this cycle. Yes, there's quirks in every single cycle. But yeah, like the people, again, like a lot of people, there's people down here, believe it or not, in the bear market that were like, you guys think it's going back up. Good luck. We're going to 3K. And it's like, dude, how could you be looking at 3K? That's insane. Oh, baby, there goes the value area low alert. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. There we go. All right, let's see. POC next. Is this going to be a repeat of this morning's stream where we just tap the alert after alert after alert after alert after alert? Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, you're completely right. So we just don't know. Yeah, shout out to Larksy. It's just something that I don't pay a lot of attention to. In the back of my head, I'm thinking like at some point we'll probably see some kind of a super cycle, but you know, and like those, it's like a broken clock is right twice a day, right? It's like, you know, super cycle, nah, super cycle, nah, super cycle, nah, 100 times, and then it's like super cycle happens. It's like, told ya. It's like, okay. So yeah, it's really, really hard. It's really, really hard. But yeah, it's yeah, I mean, I pray that they're right at some. I hope they're right sooner than later, right? Because that just means Bitcoin's gonna fly. But yeah, it's yo, shout out to Teller said, "F your alarm." It almost made me drop my phone. It's either me screaming or the alerts that are making people drop their phones. Shout out to All Disc Golf. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Says Stacks. Stacks. Hello? I'm just kidding. I think he's talking about STX. We'll try to take a look at STX. Thank you for the super chat. STX. I assume that's what that means. We'll try to take a look at Stacks, and then we'll take a look at Ethereum real quick here. And again, like I'm going to kind of fly through Ethereum here, right? Because we took a look at this a couple hours ago, right? You know, above the anchored VWAP, above the POC. Key levels of support remain the same on Ethereum. Anchored VWAP sitting right now, you know, within our local value area. Let's go ahead and pull this real quick. Right, value area low locally at 2441. That's your key level of local support. Value area high, key level of local resistance, 2617. POC is where we're sitting right now at about $2,500. This is the local range for Ethereum. Now, if we get a bigger pullback, you know, hopefully we can hold the local levels. If not, POC 2320 is the key level. If we move below that, obviously we can move down to the value area low as long as we can hold above that. I don't know if we're going to get that pullback, but if we do, we have the golden pocket and the value area low confluence. This would be a huge level to hold. Not only is it a golden pocket retracement, an area to potentially put in a higher low before a higher high, but also it keeps you within your volume profile, which would call for hopefully a final fill of this entire range at some point in the medium-term future, right? So yeah, other than that, you know, daily green dot is going to be the next thing. And if you look at this, right, the way these momentum waves are formed, let me hide some of these local levels, take the daily off, the monthly off. I'll even like hide all this stuff, right? I'll just look at the volume profile at this point. I'll even hide the Fib. Actually, we'll keep the Fibonacci retracement, and I'm also going to keep the yeah, I'm going to keep this daily level. Like, listen, there's a daily level here. I would assume that there is probably a lot of liquidity sitting above these highs. So when we look at this momentum wave on the daily, VWAP coming up, once that VWAP crosses over the zero line, we will get a green dot on Ethereum, which could potentially give us a push to the upside, not only on price, but also our momentum wave. The way this is set up right now looks like we could set up for a bearish divergence, which would call, right? I'm not saying this is a bearish sign. A bearish divergence would technically be a bearish signal, but by front-running this, you can potentially anticipate a higher high to come. So if we get that green dot, we could potentially get that push to the upside, crack the high, break structure to the upside into our next local level of resistance, which sits at about 2830, 2820 at this daily horizontal level. The more significant levels above, again, this is the daily. If we crack above there, probably liquidity sitting above these highs could squeeze us into the bigger level of resistance between $3,000 and $3,100. So if you want Ethereum to move to the upside, I think the best bet that you have is to print that green dot on the daily. Crack the high, watch that daily, and then after that, look at $3,000 to $3,100. If you don't put the bear div in here, you might just be able to squeeze up into your macro golden pocket. But at the end of the day, that green dot on the daily, in my opinion, is the thing to look for in order to potentially start that bigger move. There you go. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got on Ethereum, right? We're just kind of still in the same area we've been in the past few days, and same place that we were earlier today in the morning stream. How long, shout out to Giga Longbottom, said, how long can something stay overbought? That's a great question, bro. That is a very, very good question. And the answer to that question is it's kind of hard, right? I'll never forget when the first time I ever learned about the RSI back in the day. I just thought, hey, and the market cipher B could be overbought or oversold as well. We have the oversold lines and the overbought lines. But the answer is it can remain overbought for some time, right? I used to think that like, all I have to do is wait for the RSI. And let me just pull up the RSI so I don't confuse everybody. Like, this is not the RSI. Oh my God, we're overbought. Just sell it until the RSI goes down to the low, and then you buy it, and then you wait for it to go back to overbought, and you sell it, right? It is not really that simple, right? Because RSIs can stay overbought for quite some time. You can see the last time on Ethereum, we got overbought a little bit. We came back, found support here on the 70 line, right? And it's like you're thinking like, oh my God, we're overbought. Just sell this thing to zero. Nah, you wound up remaining overbought there for another 20 days before you wound up breaking back down, right, and getting some kind of a correction. So the answer is, you could just go back and, back test this to see like an average of how long things can stay overbought for. But the answer is they can stay overbought for a while. You'll see like a lot of like, when people first get into charts, they're like, we're overbought on the RSI. It has to go down. It's like, that was the first big mistake I made when I started looking at the charts. That's what I thought too. And then you realize that, you can remain overbought for quite some time. That's the simple answer. Shout out to I think it was Giga Longbottom that answered that. Shout out to George. I never know how to say your last name, but shout out to George. Welcome in. We got Jay Violet in the chat. Welcome in. I remember my RSI phase. Yeah, shout out to E-Rock. Me too. And the RSI is a great indicator, right? But the really only thing I would really use this for is, you can look at this and be like, all right, we're a little overbought. But really what I would use the RSI for from a trading standpoint is just finding divergences. Just like I look for bullish and bearish divergences on market cipher B, you could do the same thing on the RSI. Right? If you come on over to Bitcoin, right, and just look at the RSI real quick, right, down here when we got that push into 74K, sure, I was looking for the high time frame bullish divergences on market cipher B, which we did indeed get, higher lows, right? That's that bullish divergence, right? High time frame typically gives you a big move, which we did see, but you can see the same thing here on the RSI, right? You have the higher lows on your RSI, lower lows on price action, higher lows on, market ciphers divergences are going to be very similar to the RSI. It's just like a momentum oscillator. But I would never trade based off the RSI. That was, So I think back to those days and I'm like, oh my God, I thought I knew what I was doing. That's so funny. But anyway, let's see. Shout out to Tales of Mystery. Said, dude, the way you kept your bias when most influencers were calling 74K the bear market is crazy. I really think the subscription on this channel is way too low for the value. Smash that subscribe button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Get us to 100K. At least get us to that six-figure mark. I appreciate you, Tales. And listen, like the only and this is what I teach every day. Hopefully, I have CandleMafia members that are looking at the same thing, learning from me, going like, yeah, look, everyone thinks it's the bear market, but look at these signals, right? And I even showed the screenshots of in the Discord, looking for the literal, as we were up here, looking for daily bullish divergences with money flow coming up to call the bottom at 74K, and we eventually wound up seeing that happen. Daily bullish divergences, money flow comes up, boom. And it just has to do with the charts. If the charts gave me a bearish signal, then you would see me flip my bias, right? It's not that I never flip my bias. It's just that, when there's no reason to, there's no reason to. If it were to break down and we started breaking key levels, then I would flip my bias. So shout out to Tales of Mystery. I appreciate you so much, but it's really just the work of the TA here. There was just no reason, bullish market structure. And thank God I did that, right? Because if there's no reason to panic down here, I can't come on this live stream and in good faith just try to cause panic to try to get more clicks, right? I don't care about YouTube. It's more about helping people make money. That's why I'm here. And it's just like every time we came down here, I'm like, I don't know, guys. Like, could it be the bear market? Sure, obviously you have to entertain the idea, but I don't fall in that camp. There's no reason to think that. We have not broken significant market structure. We're getting bullish signals. And even in January, up here, we were anticipating our potential first big correction in the bull market down to between about $81,000 and $75,000 into our golden pocket 786 retracement. It's exactly where we got the bounce from, right? Perfect area to put in a higher low and a higher high. And we actually did technically put in the higher high today. So shout out to Tales of Mystery. Don't thank me, baby. Thank the TA. I appreciate you so much. Flatsmack said, I remember when you could get a Bitcoin for $1. Shout out to Flatsmack. Admittedly so. I was not in Bitcoin when it was $1, unfortunately. I wish I was. Shout out to Feels Good Gaming. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Said basic trader here. Truly love the channel. So much value for what it is. And even though I don't know all the lingo, you explain it well. Thank you, Frankie. Shout out to Feels Good Gaming. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for saying that, bro. It means I'm doing my job, baby. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. No, I'm helping you guys out. But let's continue on. Let me see here. Bada boom. Rob the Crypto Snob is probably just like pin my next comment, dude. Pin my next comment, and I just keep missing it. Let's see here. Bada boom. Or well, where's Rob? Where's Rob? I saw him in here earlier today. Oh, there he is. Bada boom. Thank you, Rob. I got it. I got it, brother. Replace pin comment. All right. So let's continue on here. Do you think we could learn from the last time we broke all-time high? We touched it, then we make a quick wick above it, and then broke down and traded around it for 7 months or so. Shout out to Angelic Ambition. Do you think we can learn from the last time we broke the all-time high, touched it, and then made a quick wick above it? Yeah. So you're talking about right here. Yeah. I mean, listen, it's very hard to tell. Listen, I don't know. Is it impossible to see the same thing happen where we SFP? Let me get off this chart. Is it possible to see like where we SFP the high, right? This was a clear swing failure pattern of the all-time high. Which is, always a dangerous trade to take, but, sometimes it does wind up playing out for a massive drop down. Yeah, you kind of wick down. We kind of cool off here. I would anticipate, as of right now, with the way the charts look, that it would more play out something like this. We did SFP the high. I would anticipate if we do range around like that, more something like that, right, in the opposite direction, hopefully. And that's not just based off because we rejected here and now we can't reject here again. It's just based off the rejection here. What was money flow doing here? It was coming out. Right? What is it doing here? It's massively in the green and currently curving to the upside, which is nice to see. So yeah, we could totally potentially cool off here a little bit. Yeah, it's very difficult to try to call, like, hey, we're gonna stall here and just range around. Totally could happen though. So yeah, 100%. I mean, there's really, yeah, I would hope, right, that it would be a range and then a break out of that range though, not a breakdown. Could it be a breakdown? Yes. Anything is possible. But, yeah, I mean, I just still feel pretty good here. I'm going to still keep my bias. I'm still keeping my bias. But, yeah, let's continue on. When do you think you'll start taking profits on your shout out to Satoshi Chronicles? We actually just talked about that a few minutes ago. I would say, like, real profits on my spot bags between 137 and 155K. But if we came up to 120K and things started looking really bad, I would make a different decision and maybe take some more profit there. So I'm a level-to-level trader. I'm like a reactive trader. So, if we get up to 155K and it looks like it's going to scream to the upside more, maybe I'll take a little less profit, right? And in anticipation of more upside. But as of right now, like the bigger macro targets are definitely going to be between 137 and 155. If it starts to look bearish at our local targets, then we'll say, hey guys, this is probably not looking isn't looking as likely at this point, right? We have to take in the new information as it comes in though. All right, let's see. Shout out to P-Dub said, Tony D is totally underappreciated. Shout out to Tony D. Yeah, Tony D is literally the other half of Frankie Candles. Yo, F-Bomb said Tony just got old AF. Yo, that's crazy. Shout out to F-Bomb. Wick589 in the chat. What is going on? Wick and Wick's Wi-Fi 89. What is going on, guys? Yo, Wick, hit us with some bars, bro. Drop some bars in the chat. Let's hear it. Okay, let's continue on. Shout out to Wick589 said, yeah, I missed his birthday. Shout out to Wick589. Drop him a birthday poem in the chat. But yeah, let's continue on. Golden Cross on the daily. Let's check it. And then we'll jump into the altcoin requests. We got Pepe, we got ADA, Solana, INJ, XRP. We're gonna try to take a look at STX. And yeah, let's check the daily Golden Cross. And I'll be honest with you. My general thought process on the death crosses and golden crosses, hopefully our last check-in on the death cross shows you guys why I don't really pay much attention to them. Death cross happens here. A lot of people, and like this is why, on YouTube and stuff, I don't know, you have to play the game, right? Time to play the game. You got to play the game, right? You got to have people click the video. You got to put some kind of click. I get it, but anytime I get asked about death crosses or golden crosses, people are like, Frankie, what do you think about the death cross here? It's the same thing I think about it every time, right? it's never as easy as death cross. Oh my God, we're going down. Unfortunately, it's not that easy, right? Most of the times when we get death crosses, sure, sometimes it marks the end of the bull market. I did obviously not think that at this point. A lot of times we rally into the death crosses. It's not something I pay attention to, right? Now, the golden cross, right? The reason I don't care about it here is because my TA tells me we're at key support or we're approaching key support and we're starting to put in some bull divs, right? So even if that death cross pushes us down, I didn't think it was the bear market, right? So I'm not really going to anticipate that to be super bearish, right? I just kind of ignore it. Now, the golden cross, on the other hand, because of the context right now, I actually like this, right? I actually would pay a little bit more attention to the golden cross because this golden cross is happening after we were able to understand that this was going to be a potential higher low, right? We also have 2-day money flow about to cross over into the green. We have a lot of things pointing in the upward direction in the long to medium term here for that maybe that next big move up. And we're having a golden cross. So the reason I kind of like this is just because it's confluent with everything else that we're looking at. Right here, it was kind of going against what we were looking at, and just some arbitrary moving average crossover is never going to trump the more intricate TA that we do. Now, have death crosses caused massive drops before? Well, yeah, they have, right? Death cross here, that was the bear market. But this was in the cycle, right? 4-year cycle-wise, this was much more likely to be a bearish death cross. Right? Because we had enough time for a bull market to play out. We had massive monthly and weekly bearish divergences. We also had the weekly money flow coming out. Right? This is very important because I think that, you come on over to the weekly, right? At that point, let me just mark out that death cross. Right? I'll just put a horizontal line on there. Right? And then you come up to the weekly, and it's like, what is your analysis here? My analysis here is massive weekly and monthly bearish divergence. Weekly money flow is tanking, which oftentimes the crossover into the red signals the bear market, and you have the death cross. Then I would take that more seriously. But every death cross, it's just a YouTube title, guys, to be quite honest. I mean, a lot of times we just rally into the death crosses. They don't really mean that much. But again, similar to that bear market death cross that we saw, I like this, right? Because it's in line with a lot of other things that we're looking at. And again, it's not something I like. It's just nice to see. It's like, and then a lot of people will point to the golden cross. It's like, easy, we saw the golden cross. And, again, it's like last time we saw the golden cross was right when we had the 2-day money flow crossing over into the green, right? Golden cross, 2-day money flow, also crossing into the green. Also, you had the monthly green dot. Bada boom. Next leg to the upside. Same conditions are being met here. Monthly green dot, potential incoming golden cross on the daily, 2-day money flow about to cross over into the green. So I like that only because it's lining up. I don't take all of these. I don't treat all the golden and death crosses equally, ever, right? Death cross, what happens? We rally into the death cross, big move up, right? Kind of similar to what we're seeing here. Which is very nice. But yeah, there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Golden Cross. Yeah, shout out to Curtis Reese says the Golden Cross is just like getting the bonus bell on top of the winning numbers. Yeah, shout out to Curtis. I would agree with that. Let's see. Thanks for the great answer on the Golden Cross, Frankie. Keep up the great work. Shout out to Wybird. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. And I will be here tomorrow, same place, same time. And if Bitcoin rips, we'll be here in the morning as well. Shout out to Pepe. Let's take a look at Pepe. Or PP, as some people like to call it. I like to call it PP. But yeah, here we are. Pepe. Sitting. I mean, hey, well, baby. Oh, baby. I think I do have TA on this. Nice. We got a nice little object tree here, nice and organized. All right, so we got the anchored VWAP pulled from the high here. We have now gotten above that and flipped it to support. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Actually, I'm not going to draw this because I believe I already have it. Okay, so lower range, right? Again, deviate below the low. Play around here. Flip the value area low to support. Flip the POC to support. Once you flip the value area low, the next likely place for price to go is the POC. Flip the POC to support. Value area high is next. And now we are potentially, as long as we get hold above this anchored VWAP value area high, this would kind of be the area that I would want to stay on top of to indicate that we're going to continue the breakout. And do I not have, oh, maybe I don't have that local range. Wow, tisk. Should have had that. Should have had that ready, baby. So I will pull this upper range because this is just kind of what we would look at as far as the next value area, because as we looked at earlier today on Bitcoin locally, price is always seeking fair value. And right now, where is the fair value in the market, right? Well, you have the fair value down here. We left that fair value, created new value. Once we lost that value, where did price go? It seeked out the previous fair value. We bing bong around in this range, deviate below the low, flip the value area low to support. We've now filled this range in full. At this point, if we continue to imbalance, price is going to do what? It's going to seek out the previous fair value, which right now to the upside sits up here. So this is going to be the key level to look at. If you can continue up, stay above the value area high and the anchored VWAP, this would be a huge level to hold. Value area high, 1178. I think that's 4 zeros, 5 zeros. I don't know. I'm getting blind in my old age. But if we continue up there, flip that value area low to support, push into the POC, like that would be the next area of value. And when you impulse out of a range, more often than not, you will seek out the previous area of value. This will act as a magnet for price if we can hold above this anchored VWAP value area high. If we get accepted back into the value area high, I would hope that you can hold your golden pocket or maybe your 786 Fibonacci retracement. These would be like where you would hope if you're going to get a deeper retracement to get your higher low, and then maybe you continue up. But ideally, you'd like to hold on top of this anchored VWAP value area high confluence. Anchor VWAP, value area high. Bada boom. So yeah, hopefully we can stay on there, continue our way up here. That value area low above, or, doorway to higher prices, is going to be sitting at 1716. That's what I'm looking at. Green dot printing now on the daily. I think, did that just pop up? I think that just popped up. So yeah, that is pretty much what I'd be looking at on Pepe. Key zone, 1226 to 1170. Hopefully you can stay above that level. Continue your move up. If you do, that's your key targets above. And if you do break down, I would just look at your Fibonacci retracement from the impulse of that higher low to the high. Right? And those do sit between 1057 and 1032 at the golden pocket, and then 926 at the 786. I'd prefer not to come down that deep. But you could potentially bounce there to continue your uptrend if you do. Just understand, if you did break down there, you're going to be hitting your head on that value area high. Right? So it doesn't mean you can't break out. You just have to understand the context there. You're going to be getting the bounce into resistance. And when you approach inside of a value area from above, the anticipated thought process there is get stuck under the high, go to the POC, lose the POC, and go to the low. But the context here is still bullish. So you have to be open to the idea that that won't play out this time, and you could look for a higher high. But ideally, you don't have to deal with that. Ideally, you just stay up here, and then you can continue up. Daily green dot is printing. Maybe we can get a little push up by tomorrow. Check that 90-minute money flow has been in the green. So, yeah, you could even pull this little local range if you wanted to kind of scalp around on Pepe as well. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Nice hold of support on that anchored VWAP. All right, let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Alts are flying, somebody says. Bitcoin moving up. Let's see. She's trying. Let me come back over to the Bitcoin chart real quick. Yeah, she's in the value area. Look at that. Above. You can't make it up, man. You get above the value area low, flip it to support. POC is next. We'll see if that alert goes off. Hold on to your phones. Don't let it scare you. It's just a trading view alert. POC would be the next target to the upside, which I think if that gets hit, I'll get stopped out at break even on my short. In profit, I should say. My stop loss is at break even, but I already have profits locked in, so it'll be a winning trade. Let's see. Bears and Max Payne. Shout out to Flat Smack. Yeah. I still think that there could be more Max Payne to come for the Bears. It's been our scenario here this whole time. Ever since we flipped this golden pocket. Again, you have to think about the sentiment down here. How bearish it was. How bearish people thought it was. Right? And what's the Max Payne situation here? I do think. Right? I honestly think it was the same thing back here. Right? I just think the Max Payne situation, because this dump down here had scared a lot of people as well. I got the most DMs, the most text messages, the most comments. Frankie, is this the bear market? Here? The time before that was right here. And then I do think it was the same thing here. Everybody wanted a bigger pullback, and it just started screaming up. And then by the time everyone accepted, oh, my God, screw it, I'm just going to buy, they got caught in this. And then that's what caused all the pain down here. Because a lot of people who bought up here were wondering, like, what the heck, man? Now is it the bear market? So, yeah. I still think more Max Payne, I definitely think the Max Payne situation here would be more upside. I think there's more bears or more people that wanted a bigger pullback than wanted a bigger or thought we're going to get a bigger pump, right? Because everybody wanted everybody thought it was going down here. Everyone's going to start looking for the pull. Like, everyone else is not going to get interested or feel that pain until finally it comes up and they're like, man, I can't buy up here now. It puts you in a bad situation. The market loves to hurt as many people. It just likes to really twist the knife. But anyway, let's continue on. Let's see. Yeah, retail still isn't flooded in according to Google search and app downloads. Let the floodgates open. Shout out to Angelic Ambition. I would agree with you. I even said this on the first push to the upside. Up here and even up here. Like retail, I think retail started sneaking in here. But they were not here in full. I still don't think we've seen all retail come into the market yet. Definitely not up here. Right, like there was like, you look at the search term analytics, like even the YouTube numbers, they spiked a little bit. Retail has not really shown much interest yet. Some retail, and I think there's different retail now. There's retail of the people who were in last cycle, right, and then like and maybe it changes over time, right, because we started seeing, when we started cracking up here, we started seeing old Mafia members that we hadn't seen in a while, which is usually a good sign. It's like the people who actually pay attention to the market start coming back. And then those are the people who start to come in a little early. And then, but yeah, like I don't think there's a ton of new retail in here just yet, which is good because that means that maybe the FOMO massive bing bong to the upside has not happened yet, which would be the anticipation. Let's see. Yeah, Eugene, probably retail waiting for alt season, most likely. All right, let's see. Let's see if we hold this value area low. Bear with me. Bear with me. No pun intended. Shh, it's very serious, guys. This is very serious. Okay, never mind. I was just checking something. Let's see. Bull with me, baby. Okay, so let's continue on here. All right, so we took a look at PP. Let's take a look at ADA, or ADA, as some people like to call it, on the altcoin chart, obviously. Okay, so here we go. Let me pull up the current range here. All right, yeah, so Cardano just still kind of... Yeah, still kind of wiggling around here. Very nice to see that we got above that value area low. We paid it. We were looking at this as it happened, but above the value area, hold it, POC. Listen, if this does not get you interested in volume profiles, I just don't know what will. I mean, we covered this day to day, right? You get above the value area low. We looked at this on Cardano. We even had, I believe this was where we had the golden pocket, anchored VWAP confluence. Maybe it was this golden pocket, anchored VWAP confluence on the value area low. You flip that to support. You hit the anchored VWAP value area low, Fibonacci retracement. Next likely place for price to go from there is the POC. You push into the POC, get a little bit of turbulence, and now we've broken above the POC, and we've just tested it as support. To be quite honest, guys, this is your key level to hold. Now we have from the low to the high, golden pocket, POC confluence. We've already come down and tested that golden pocket. That's an opportunity to put in a higher low. Anchored VWAP sitting just below that. Yeah, if we can stay above this POC, you could start your next move into your value area high. You could continue your journey through the profile. Remember, it could be confusing. Value area low to POC. Oh my God, it's so scary. Nope. POC, flip it to support, right? If we come up, you might get rejections, but eventually the anticipation is to move into that value area high. Simply put, nice to see the hold of that golden pocket. Money flow starting to come up here on the 8-hour VWAP rolling over. Let's check the daily green. I think on the altcoins, same thing we looked at earlier today. On the altcoins, I think the daily green dots printing are going to be the next thing if we're going to get a bigger move to the upside. That might be what to look for. So, yeah, that's what I would look at on Cardano for the most part. I mean, just holding support. It's like perfect. Value area low, POC, flip the POC to support. If we hold this, could send it up. Let's see. If the daily green dot prints, 90-minute money flow is already in the green. Check that 2-day VWAP rolling up as well. I'd like to see this money flow on the 2-day continue up. Low, technical higher low. If we can get that to squeak up, that would be good as well. But yeah, technically this support has been hit at the golden pocket. Could you go down to the anchored VWAP 786? Sure. But I like that you came down to the golden pocket. Hold above that POC. I'm looking upwards. Lose the POC. 786 is your next chance to bounce. Lose that 786. You're also losing the anchored VWAP, and it may cause a bigger drop to the value area low. But that's not my base case. I would like to see this hold for a bigger move up. All right, let's continue on here. Bada boom, bada bing. Derelict dropping that calf and volume profile and Frankie Candle's face emoji. I love it, bro. Except for the Frankie Candle's face emoji. Get that ugly mug off the screen. I'm just kidding. All right, let's see. Jay Violet, you're on your phone. Be careful, because if we have a trading view alert go off, you might go ahead and drop it. Let's see. Next altcoin that we're going to take a look at is going to be Solana. I just want to check in on chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. Don't forget to smash that like button, guys. If we get 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream, we'll give away 3 Frankie Candles hats. I don't know what color they'll be. We have tons of colors. If you want to check them out, go to frankiecandlestrading.com and check out the hat colors. You could buy one, or you could just check out the colors and guess which one you're going to get. But yeah, let's try to get 1,000 likes. Maybe we'll add some more. Crypto to the giveaway. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Bitcoin wants to pump so bad. I know. She's like chomping at the bit. I think that's the saying. Frankie Albulo. Shout out to Base Bailey. Let's go. All right, let's continue on here. Let's take a look. Shout out to blockchain domain. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Said 10x dreams at dawn. Wicked Wick wipes out my soul. Liquidation calls. Let's go. Hey, shout out to blockchain domain. Thank you so much for the super chats, bro. That's like your second one, I think. No, your fourth one. Yo, hang on. Shout out to blockchain domain. Says boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats. And then he said, I want to know what love is. I assume that's a song. I don't know what song that is. Otherwise, I'd sing it. He said, Golden Crispy Hot Pocket, ham and cheese, please. Hey, shout out to Blockchain Domain. That is the best Hot Pocket they make, my friend. I haven't had a good Hot Pocket in a long time. But shout out to the ham and cheese Hot Pockets. I used to be a frequent of those. Let's see. And Blockchain said, I should use this money to fund my trading account instead of trying to gain these XP points. Lol. Shout out to Blockchain Domain. I keep forgetting we have those rankings in the chat now. That's pretty funny. I still don't really know how it works. But hey, let's go. Blockchain Domain jumping to the top of the ranks. Let's get it. Let's check back in on Bitcoin. I mean, we haven't gotten the test of the POC yet. We already got that alert set. Let's see here. Yeah, we're just, look at that bounce off the value area low. Come on, baby. Come on. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I mean, but hey, the anticipation here based off just the volume profiles, right? Like, let's not even look at market cipher. The anticipation here would be above the value area low, hold it as support, POC next. We already have the alert set. We'll see if it goes off. Flip the POC, go to the high. They break the high, potential tests of the all-time highs. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Looking good with the reclaim of that value area low, though. But yeah, let's continue on here. We took a look at Pepe. We took a look at ADA. Solana. We'll take a look at Solana real quick. It's just really... There's not an update here, right? We're just still sitting on top of the value area high. The one thing I do like here are the daily green dots looking to print. Again, even on Solana here, I would say, daily green dot prints, hold on top of the value area high. It almost looks like you might even be able to put a daily bull div in here on Solana as well, potentially calling for a break of that current high sitting at about 184.99. You're just between these two value areas. If we hold on this value area high, the next likely place for price to go, with the green dot, would be the value area low of the previous range, 183.91. That's your key level to flip to support. Once you get in there, mark my words, not that it's guaranteed, but remember I said this. Flip that value area low. The next expected target is the POC. Very high probability. Not a guarantee, high probability, right? So, yeah, and I don't hate the green dots looking to print on these altcoins. Maybe we see the alts start to run tonight going into tomorrow. Bitcoin kind of starts the party, and then the alts follow shortly behind. Watch that daily green dot to start the moves. We have it on popping up on Solana. It's coming up on Cardano. It is printing on Pepe. We'll just run down this really quick. Daily green dot on Fartcoin, daily green dot on Ondo. And they're all above their POCs. Next target on Ondo would be the value area high at about $1.23. Can't complain about that. Virtuals, green dot's already confirmed. That's a little bit of a different signal. Tau, green dot printing. Already starting to get a push up. Now, Tau is actually underneath its value area high, so you're kind of hoping for that green dot to push you into the value area high and then hopefully break you out into this upper value. I'm not going to do the full TA on these. I'm just checking the green dots. I mean, even the money flow on TARS, look at that money flow looking to cross over into the green. As you're reclaiming value area low, flip that POC, look up towards the value area high at about 16 cents. That money flow do look saucy. That money flow does not look bad to me. Look for that crossover into the green. INJ, I think INJ is on the list, so I'll just run through this. Yeah, so we came down to the monthly and weekly. That's where we put the low here in on April 6th. I'm actually going to pull some new levels here. I'm going to pull a more significant range here rather than that tiny little micro range. Doesn't mean it's invalidated or not important, but this would just be the bigger value area to look at, in my opinion. Yeah, I would look. This is definitely your next value area. Value area high, POC, value area low. Mark it off with a nice little box so we can see it nice and clear. So, yeah, I mean, I would look. Yeah, green dot looking to print. Hopefully you could come and crack this high. I mean, your market structure is bullish here. If you get that green dot on the daily, I would look for a continuation up. Key level remains to the upside, 18 cents. Or, I'm sorry, $18. Get above the value area low at $18. Push into the POC, sitting at 2068. And, I mean, you know the rest, right? Same thing, even on Bitcoin. Whether you're looking at the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 2 day, the 3 day. If you leave this value area, you're going to get attracted into your upper value, the next closest value area. Hopefully we see this happen. But, yeah, not looking too bad. INJ. We got to be patient. We don't know exactly how this is going to play out. Maybe you go, you just kind of wiggle around a little more, and then eventually you come up. But we're getting pretty close to some of these key levels on a lot of, getting close to a lot of the some key levels on a lot of these alts. Let me just see this really quick. Where's this at? Just mark this out really quickly. I don't love that. This looks a bit better. Boom, POC value area high. So yeah, I actually like that, within your local range here, if you wanted to break this down into separate ranges. Value area high, yeah. I mean, hopefully that green dot on the daily can hold this POC as support, push you into that value area high, and then break you off into your next value area. Value area high, key level to break here, in my opinion, would be $14.58. Get above that, looking to get above the doorway to higher prices at $18. Simply put. Let's see. Thank you for the Pepe. I was AFK when you did it, but I just went back in time. Shout out to David. Let's go, baby. The beauty of the internet, letting you go back in time, baby. We're time travelers. The Mafia be going back in time to get that sauce to make that bread. Let's see. BTC pump. BTC pump. Our alert hasn't gone off yet. We are back above 100 and yeah, there she goes, baby. Should we just draw the predictive line? You think we'll be able to guess every single up and down? That's my guess. Random speculation there, guys. Volume profile, obviously, I would expect that to play out just based off the volume profile. We'll see if we can call that exact up and down. Obviously impossible to do, but we'll see if we can do it. Let's see. Always TiVo, the Frankie Candle streams. Let's go. Get that TiVo ready, baby. God, who remembers TiVo? Good Lord. It's crazy to think how pointless TiVo is now. What once was like the most useful thing ever is now just completely and totally useless. Shout out to Blockchain Domain. Thank you for the super sticker, bro. I appreciate you. Hey, get that rank up, baby. Let's go. Blockchain Domain about to be number 0.1. He's gonna go below 1 or above 1. Let's see. Frankie, if you had to make love to one crypto coin, what would it be? I can't answer that question. I have a coin in mind. It's a meme coin. I don't know if anybody knows it, but I'll leave it at that. You guys are crazy, bro. My dad used TiVo. Shout out to Dremmer. Good Lord, did I just age myself there? That's an outrageous question. Shout out to Larksy. Yeah, dude, that's a there we go. There is the dang alert on the POC, and now we'll just move the next one up to the value area high. It's not going to follow our line now, though. We're just going to go straight up to the value area high. Unbelievable. Let's go, baby. Come on, push into it. Yo, F-Bomb said, I hope it's not COQ, bro. Oh, God. No, it's not COQ. Frankie could have easily done Micro Machine commercials back in the day. I would have been down with that. I actually used to do acting when I was a kid. I'm not going to tell you guys the name of anything I was in because it'd be super embarrassing. But, yeah, it's pretty funny. Fun fact about Frankie Candles. 500X long now. I actually don't have anywhere I could 500X long. We could just, I don't want to teach any bad habits here, but could try it. I mean, the place to do that would have been the value area low. I thought about it, but yeah, it's just, I don't want to teach, just degenerate stuff here. Please don't let it be dog in me. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. I think MEXC lets you do it. Yeah, I don't know how they offer 500X. That's outrageous. 1,000 likes for old acting tapes. We would need a lot more than here goes the next alert. There would need to be more than 1,000 for the acting tapes. It's pretty crazy. But I was in a movie, and I was in I was really like the only thing that I was in that was like worth talking about. Come on, Bitcoin, let's go. Do it! Try to play some music here. All right, we're back. Come on, Bitcoin, do it. Don't make me play music. Look at the rejection on that. Look at that value area high. That's crazy. That's not fair. That's not fair, Bitcoin. You can't do that. Come on, Bitcoin. There we go. The machine gun starts, and there's the alert, guys. If you want to learn how to use the volume profiles, guys, to predict those moves in real time, right? And I don't say I'm the best. Oh, my God, right? I do this because I am passionate about showing you how well TA can work. It's not a strategy for crypto bros. Value area low, POC, value area high. This is what we looked at on the live stream earlier today. We looked at the deviation below the low, the flip of that value area, low to support, looking for the full fill of the range. We got it. Looked for a potential breakout. We got the retest of the value area high to hopefully get the continuation into the range. Start of the stream today, you look for the reclaim of the value area low into the POC, into the value area high. You can just see how high probability these moves are. You don't even need to long down here and sell up here. If you can find the high probability moves, the confident moves, you can just trade that. Sit out. Wait for another reclaim of a value area low. Trade that. Right? Not financial advice. But just to show you guys how this works. 1 alert, 2 alert, 3 alerts, all slammed in real time. Beautiful. Probably stop that on my short and profit at this point. Stop that on the short and profit. But not too bad, baby. We're still making money. Let's get it. Let's see. It's so crazy how when you finally learn TA and watch the charts just play out. Thank you, Frankie Candle. Shout out to Blockchain Domain. Yeah, it's insane. This is why I love this so much. Even if I'm not making money on the trade, right? It's like a little bit more exciting. It's a little fun. Right? Obviously, it's fun to make the money, but like even just like I get just as excited watching the charts move. Nah, I probably get a little more excited when I'm actually like making money. But I will say this, right? Like just seeing the charts move, I think that honestly was like one of my biggest edges in learning TA and learning how to trade was just the fact that like I genuinely enjoy it. I do think it's the coolest thing in the world to be able to identify these key levels and see price play out the way you think it would play out. And when you start to see things work, like it's just that general excitement. Like you have to be hyper obsessed, right? Like trading is one of those things that like if you're not obsessed with it, you're not going to be able to put in the time or the work to learn how to do the TA correctly. It's like, yeah, like just seeing that, right? Like I didn't take that long, but it's like, it's so cool to see that move, right? Insane. Let's see. Dopamine hits. Yeah. Shout out to Squad. 100%. But yeah, all-time high soon as the end of the stream. Shout out to Runners for Nerds. I would not be surprised if as soon as I get off the live stream, we see the new all-time highs. But yeah, I mean, first fill of the profile, second fill of the second profile. At this point, I mean, only thing to do is to look up. I mean, let's hide these, right? Let's see if we can crack that all-time high. And see if we can push up into those higher targets. And let me just mark him off with a, actually I think I have the purple box. Let me just mark it off with a box here. This will be the next first major level or first major area that I would look at. 112, 114, break above that. Where is it? Between 118.4 and 124.5. Let's go. I think we can do it. I don't know about like right this second, but I don't think it's gonna be we break those all-time highs. I think it's very likely if this is the first area we come up to, flip above that, coming up into this next purple box. That's what I'd look for. Come on, baby. Come on, Asia, pump us, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's see. What is the cycle top in my opinion? Shout out to Nima. It depends. It depends. I mean, the cycle top, technically. I think there's somebody wrestling in the next room. Yeah, we actually talk about them in the beginning of the stream. It really depends, right? If we get up to 137K, 155K, that zone is going to be a big level to look at for me. But depending on what price action looks like, the information that we're getting in that time at those key levels is really going to make or break, whether I'm looking for the top to come in or not. It's going to be really hard. It's like I can pull the Fibonacci extensions and say, like, these are the likely places to get up to, right? If I just hide all this real quick. Actually, I'm going to keep this, and I'm just going to hide everything else. Should I get rid of this too? Right? I can pull the extension levels, right? And say, hey, just like we did for this target, between $81,000 and $102,000, that's going to be big target number one. If it looked like the top of the bull market was going to be here, I would have called for the top of the bull market, right? But we did not see those signs. So on the pullback, we have to look at that as a potential higher low before breaking structure back to the upside. So the next area to look for something like that, in my opinion, on the higher time frames is between about 137 to 155K. If we get up there, and it's the same thing as up here, where we're just looking at it and it like doesn't look bad, right? We just squeeze up there and it's like it looks good for more upside. Then we could potentially move up to the next target, which we'll have local targets at the moment, but like the next big target within that fib pool is about 209K. It doesn't guarantee. It's like I can't just say like, oh, 209K is a target. That's where we're looking for price to go. Not necessarily. You have to stair step your way there, and then as you tap into those targets, you have to react off of the new information that comes in at that level, right? If it looks bearish here, then it might look like the top of the bull market, right? If it looks good here, then we could probably look to the next target, right? So it's kind of like it's a level-to-level thing, right? You get to the next target, and you're like, okay, no bad guys. We're good. Go to the next one. Oh no, we're getting tackled by a bunch of 100 gorillas versus one Bitcoin. I don't know. You just get to the next level, and if you see the bearish confirmations, that's kind of where you're thinking like, hey, we might not make it out to the next target. Maybe we're going back into the bear market. But we won't know that, right? We don't know what price is going to look like up here. In my opinion, I like to be a little bit more conservative, just like in this cycle, right? Like everyone calls for 100K, you don't see it. When everyone starts calling for 250, if we make it to 200, maybe we don't make it to 250, right? But again, it's going to be different, right? I could say 209K, but then if we get up here and it looks horrible, I'm probably going to change my sentiment, right? Because if you're not changing your sentiment based off new information that comes in on the chart, you're gambling, right? That's just is what it is. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 thoughts on that. My 2 cents, I should say. Let's see. What's the most degenerate play I can do right now? I mean, I would just say, I don't know, like most degenerate or like lowest probability. I don't know, like how it. I mean, you could just degen long, but at this point, right? I just don't know. I think it probably, like, I don't know. I don't think you should ever just long a top like that. But, yeah, the most degenerate play you could have made today would have been shorting the all-time high, which I did. And I made money, right? But it wasn't degenerate really because I took it off actual signals, and I was only looking at it as a scalp. It's why I took that profit on the way back, on the way down, and then got stopped out in profit. That's how I took a guaranteed winning trade. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, if you short here, it's really degenerate. If you long here, it's really degenerate. I would probably say the fact that we've already tested the all-time high and got the rejection, I would think that shorting it is probably the lower probability move at this point. I think the short was to be had on the one that I took, the little scalp to the downside. And so, yeah. Come on, Bitcoin. Let's go. Let's go. Are we going to shoot up to those higher tower? We're about to do a 4-hour stream. Let's see. Degen long right at 109 was clear. It was going to give it another test. Shout out to Sean. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Caspa all-time chart is the best thing in the alt section. Let's check out Caspa real quick. Let's take a look. The all-time chart is the... Yeah, I mean, let's dig in here a little bit. Let's see. Daily. Yeah, I mean, you're testing the value area low, doorway to higher prices. We have tried to peak above that POC. I would still say, right, like really the doorway to higher prices here is the POC. Crack above here, hold it as support. Yes, this is the doorway to higher prices. The POC sitting at 11, almost 12. Yeah, almost 12 cents, but 0.118. Flip that to support. 786 is going to be your next target. Once you flip that, value area high is probably next. I mean, a lot of the altcoins, like I said, are either in their value areas, retesting the value area low, or the POC, which is nice because you're accepted into value and you could potentially look for higher prices. Or they're like approaching their upper value areas, which is nice because if you break into them, it opens up the door to higher prices. So yeah, let's see. Other than that, probably the daily green dot looking to print. Same thing as all the other altcoins. That green dot prints potentially able to, if you're going to look for something like a bearish divergence here, it would call for a break of structure to the upside. And again, I wouldn't be looking to giga short that daily bearish divergence. I'm just using that to potentially try to call for that break of structure to the upside. So yeah, I still think the green dots on the alts are probably what's going to move price up, to be quite honest with you. Let's take a look at STX real quick. I don't think we have an STX chart, to be quite honest. I guess this one, it's got to be old AF. Yeah, all the way from back here. So I'll just clear this. And let's take a look. I'm going to pull this entire range, just like this. Look at that wick, man. What the heck is this? What? Interesting. But anyway. Yeah, I mean, I guess you were coming down from the value area high. You tested the POC, bounced off the POC, and it was like, I don't really feel like going all the way down to the value area low, so I'm just going to, like, reach out, touch it, and then we'll just kind of stay up here. It's crazy. But, yeah, you're above the POC. I mean, at this point, technically, at least on this chart with this crazy, weird wick, technically you are You went from the value area low to the POC to the value area high. You didn't get any body closes down there. But, I mean, yeah, this is kind of a trip up. Let me hang on a second. This is kind of hard because it's like I'm trying to figure out, like, are we approaching from the high or coming in from the, from the low? Yeah, maybe I'll take a look at this chart. Less scammy looking. Yeah, we'll take a look at the Bybit chart. It has a little bit more price history. Dang it. Why does this one why does this have to have that crazy wick? That's so annoying, man. It's got the most price history. Let's see. What else would have Bitfinex? Yeah. All right, well, I guess we're going to get stuck here on the Binance chart. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bybit chart. I'll just use the price action that I can get. So this will be your upper value. Boom. Boom. Just give you some of the key levels to watch here because Market Cipher B looks pretty similar on just about all the altcoins, right? Big signals for the moves to the upside. 2-day money flow crossover into the green, daily green dot, and some of the altcoins have daily money flow crosses over into the green. But I would say for the most part, those 2-day money flow crosses over into the green are what I'd be looking at to start the bigger trends to the upside. But here we are. Yeah, you're just still kind of wiggling below this value area. Flip on top of that value area low at $1.36. That's your doorway into that bigger volume profile to potentially rotate all the way up to about 230. And then, obviously, you'll have an opportunity to break out there. But this is really your big doorway to higher prices. Again, coming in at about $1.35. 2-day money flow still trying to work its way to the upside. 2-day green dot also looking to print. 2-day green dot also looking to print. Daily green dot is printing. So, again, daily green dot. Kind of the same idea, right? Like just looking to continue the uptrend to higher prices. And that daily green dot might be the thing to do it. I could try. I mean, I don't really love this, but yeah, you could potentially look at something like this. Right? Just locally to give you like some kind of context of what you're looking at down here. Here's your lower value, little local value area. You went from the high to the POC to the low, deviate below. 2-day bullish divergences, typically a very bullish sign for the altcoins. Lower lows, higher lows, get back into your range, back to the POC, back to the value area high. Hopefully you could break out here. If you can get that breakout, I would 100% be looking up here to about $1.35. And if we pull up the VPVR real quick, I will say this. Come on, give it to me. What happened? Come on. There we go. A little bit of a fall off in volume between these two value areas. Pretty quick move up. Pretty quick move down. Breakout here. You could get the quick move up to the value area low. And then that's the area. I would expect to get pulled up at least to that value area low at $1.37. And then once you flip it to support, you could get accepted into that upper value, which would be nice. Money flow headed in the right direction on the 2-day. Green dots all head in the right direction as well. Daily money flow coming back up a bit there as well. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Those are the key levels I would look at, and my thoughts on Market Cipher B as well. Shout out to Wick589, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Let's get it. He said, Tony D come in the room and Tony D come in the room and he gonna spell you doom. Got no shake and he nah strapping. He gonna smoke you with his clapping. With his clap. Gonna smoke you with his peach. Yo, I'm reading this totally wrong. We're going to have Wick say this on video and put it in the Discord or something because I'm butchering this. With his clap, gonna smoke you with his peach. His clap, and claps gaw real good peach. Shout out to Wick589. I feel like I read that like a third grader, but that's why I'm a trader and not a professional storyteller, story reader. I don't know. Shout out to Wick589. Let's go. I'm pinning that, bro. I'm pinning Tony's I'm pinning Tony's bars to the top of the chat here because we went through the alt list already. Where we at? I almost put you in timeout, Wick. Good Lord. I can't pin it because it's a super chat. That's trash. I want to pin that. Shout out to Wick589. Let's go. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you for dropping the fire bars for Tony D's birthday. Let's go. But yeah, let's come back onto Bitcoin here because that was STX. Let's see here. Oh, finally, we got the we finally got the there we go. Another push into the highs. Congratulations, everybody. Welcome back to the Bitcoin bull run, baby. Let's go. Let me come back in here to current chat. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo, shout out to Allison J says, Frankie, your live streams are lucky today. Yeah, we just keep getting the moves right on the live streams, baby. Let's go. I love it. And it's nice too, because when we get that price action during the live stream, we could just call the price action live for you guys, which we did in the morning stream and tonight. Watching those volume profiles, giving you guys kind of a live look of how you can like look at the volume profiles and see how price moves in real time. And yo, let's go. Shout out to Golden. Let's get it. Giving us those 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Unbelievable. Shout out to Golden, bro. Thank you so much. Dropping those 50 Frankie Candles memberships. And I see a super chat here. Shout out to Golden says, woohoo! Here we go, baby. LFG. Here we go. Drop the Bruce Buffers in the chat. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you go into your emoji section, if you just got a Frankie Candles membership, you could drop that Bruce Buffer emoji in the chat. Let's go. Shout out to Barefoot Sailing Adventures. Let's go. You just received a free membership coming in here flexing that check mark. I love it, bro. Shout out to you. Shout out to Golden, bro. Thank you so much. Let's get it. It's not a party unless Golden is here. Let's see. Smash that like button if you guys just tuned in. Let's go for 1,000 likes. I think we could do it. I haven't really been pushing the likes. I'll be honest, guys. It like low-key gets exhausted. Smash the like. Cool, YouTube. Yay. But let's just look at the charts, right? But smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications. And another 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Golden dropping the bag on the Mafia. Let's go. If you just got a Frankie Candles membership, if you just got one, smash that like button. That should give us 100 more likes, which gets us 100 more likes, closer to 1,000. Let's go. Yo, Darren does things, dropping the golden and then the shower emoji is insane. That's absolutely diabolical, bro. Let's see. We got Jesse the like police in the chat. Smash that like button, guys. Let's run it up to like 800 right now. 3, 2, 1. Everybody smash it at the same time. Glitch that like button, and let's see how fast we can run them up. Yo, chat going ballistic right now. This is crazy. Drop those golden emojis and the Bruce Buffers in the chat. Flood that golden emoji. The golden bathtub, the golden waterfall, the golden anything but a shower. Let's see. I'm still waiting for a $4 XRP and your visit to Dubai. Shout out Kaiser. Shout out to iJazz. Shout out to you, bro. I assume you're Kaiser. Shout out to you. Let's go. $4 XRP. Let's take a quick look at XRP as we have looked at it here. We looked at it earlier today, but again, obviously we are just looking at this as, we're still in the same situation, right? So if you had not tuned into the earlier live stream, just understand we came down to the golden pocket. We're hoping, right, that you just kind of, the only thing I don't like about this, right, not that I don't like that I think it's going to nuke to zero or anything, but like the only thing that would be going against you here is the fact that you're rejecting the value area high. Next likely place for price to go is the POC. Lose the POC. You have the golden pocket in the 786 below. We're bouncing off the golden pocket, which is nice. So we got to get back above that POC and just really break out here. Otherwise, you could lose that golden pocket, come down to the daily naked point of control 786, and then this is really what I wouldn't want to lose. If you lose this, you're probably going down to the value area low. So really just viewing this as a volume profile, but just understanding that if we are going to continue the bullish trend here, you could look for support on the golden pocket, which we are getting right now. If you lose that, daily naked point of control 786 is next. And obviously, if we do get some kind of massive rip up on XRP, I will just say, 415, I mean, at the end of the day, right, you come back up to the all-time high. 352 is like the next Fibonacci extension level, but once you get above that, between 418 and 453 is going to be the next target for XRP if this bull run is indeed going to continue. Even though everybody thought the bottom was 74K was the new bear market, I mean, at least we have technically put in a new all-time high here, so hopefully we can see the altcoins follow very soon. I mean, just look at the structure, guys. There is. I'll be honest, like as bullish as Bitcoin is most of the time, or when it's pumping, like as bullish as it can be. This is like one of the most beautiful. Like this looks like the uptrend that if you Google what an uptrend is, and you look at like a diagram of an uptrend, like this is literally like what the picture looks like. There's just, this is the cleanest high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Like it's the most clean uptrend ever. Like even this one wasn't that clean, right? It was just straight up wonky, 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 wonky. This one is just like literally Google uptrend. You'll probably just see that. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, hopefully we don't just SFP and nuke it to zero, which I don't think is it's definitely not my base case, but yeah, we'll see what happens there. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Give us some bullish TA. Shout out to BC. We've been live for 2 hours. We did actually already do Bitcoin TA. We anticipated. I guess we'll just do it for everybody who just tuned in, because I'm sure we just got a new flood of people here for the new all-time high. Yeah, I mean, if you tuned into the earlier stream, you've been ready since the deviation below this value area low. Flip this to support, fill the range, break out here, get accepted into this value area low. And yeah, if you are not using volume profiles, hopefully watching this in real time, flip the value area low, POC value area high, and then you get the little wick above the all-time high. But yeah, I mean, the next targets to the upside, if you scrub back to the beginning of the stream, I go over the upper targets. Kind of like bad timing here because we just went over this, but I know we probably just got a big flood of people in here just because of that break. But yeah, next major target, locally is going to be sitting right here. I'm not going to pull the fib just to save time. It is sitting Fibonacci extension between 112,335 and 114,379. That's your next Fibonacci extension level when pulled from the local range, right? You have 2 Fibonacci levels there. That's going to be like, if we keep pushing up, that is going to be what I'm looking at right in here. Once we break above that, between 118 and about 120K is going to be next. That's what I'm looking at. Those are the next targets. Come on, Bitcoin. You could do it. You could do it. Don't nuke us overnight. Just keep pumping. Hopefully Asia wakes up and it's like, oh my God, Bitcoin's going to the moon. FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. Push us up, baby. Push us up. Come on. I think you could do it. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Brian Varney. He said, Frankie, if all my leverage alt longs play out, I'll make 50K. And if I get stopped out, I'll make 1K. How's that for risk to reward? I would say that's goated for risk to reward. If your risk to reward is make 1K or make 50K rather than make 50K or lose 1K, I mean, even that's really good. That's a really good risk to reward. But if it's make 1K or make 50K, I mean, that's just goated. You can't beat that. That's just a guaranteed winning trade. Let's go. Shout out to Brian Varney. Let's go, baby. Unbelievable. Short 100X. Shout out to FL Project. Let's go. Yo, let's hear some beats, FL Project. Shout out to you, bro. Shorted 100X. Go to 0. Thanks for 2 streams today. Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. Of course. That's what we're here for. Shout out to Hodl Crypto says, is that actually Hodl Crypto? Hang on. Some Chinese words, LFG Biddy. There you go. Shout out to Hodl Crypto. I don't know what those Chinese symbols mean, but I bet it means Bitcoin to the moon. I would almost guarantee that. Yeah, shout out to John B. Said, short and eat ramen. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't short it to 0. Yeah, I would say the short I took on the all-time high was a much higher probability, in my opinion. I mean, not that you can't dump here, but shorted right here, wrote it down. Not looked at as short to 0, right? A lot of people think you can't short in a bull market. You totally can, right? Are you going to be better off long in the lows, right? Any higher low, you're going to want to be greedy with the longs, conservative with the shorts. But yeah, if you do take shorts, just understand, guys. Like earlier today when I took that short, on the earlier live stream, when we were showing that short, very conservative. Enter, got a very good entry, like almost near the tippy top. As soon as I was in profit, stop loss to break even. That is literally a free lottery ticket. If it nuked to 0, make a ton of money. And it didn't nuke to 0, but it came down. I took some profit and then moved my stop loss to break even, right? And then just stopped out and made some money, right? So you can literally make money you can even make money on this short or this short or this short or this short. Right now, obviously, you have to understand your environment. I would definitely, if you were looking for trades right now, you're going to be definitely looking for longs at the lows over just shorting every single high. You don't want to be the guy that's just like continuously trying to short and getting stopped out. But if you are, make sure you're getting stopped out in profit. Double top. I mean, I guess technically, yeah, I guess on the day this would be like a double top, or maybe even like a triple top, depending on how you want to look at it. But yeah, no, I don't know, guys. I'm just going to keep my bias. My bias ever since 74K, don't you forget it, has been bullish. Bear market. No bear market. No bear market. If you break down, start breaking market structure, then you call for the bear market. But here, macro support, bullish divergences. I am bullish ever since we came in to put this low, and even before, we were looking for the daily bull. There's a money flow coming up, and my sentiment remains the same throughout all of this, right? The only time my sentiment was questioned, and we questioned it live, was at this golden pocket. This was massive resistance, but as we approached, we said once we get up here, we have to assess the money flow, assess what information we're getting here. Is it going to be a high probability rejection or a high probability breakout and come up, right? And we got up there. Daily money flow was 100% coming on into the green. That made us think, well, hey, although this is a level that would be a big level to put a lower high in on, that money flow is saying up. So what do we look for? The breakup into the value area high. And once we broke above this, as we said, high probabilities of putting in a new all-time high. And here we are. And I keep my sentiment. I am bullish, right? Like, and again, even though I took that short earlier today, now stopped out in profit, still bullish, right? You could take a short and still be bullish, right? You just have to, the way you're viewing the short is what is important. Just looking for a little scalp to the downside before continuing up. So there you go. Let's see. Yeah, ETH must pump, then also pump. Yeah, hopefully ETH pumps at some point. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance real quick. Actually pulled up over. Yeah, no. Yeah, pull it up. Pull it up over here. Bada boom. Yeah, I mean, funny enough, right? Bitcoin's pushing. Dominance still kind of just showing at the golden pocket. Like I said for altcoins, guys, we don't want Bitcoin dominance to break the 786. If it breaks this 786, I think it's a higher probability that you're probably coming up to 66.21%, which would not be good for alts. Traditionally. If we come in here and put in a lower high on the golden pocket or the 786 and get a bigger dump down to the value area low, that is what we want to see. You want to reject this zone on Bitcoin dominance. Even if you wick above the 786 and then get a rejection. If you flip that 786, not only you're above the 786, but you're also above the PLC, and the next target would be that 786 at 66.21%, which generally wouldn't be, it's not typically something that calls for a massive rip on altcoins, right? We want this thing to tank. I don't mean a little pullback like this. I don't mean a little pullback like this or like this. I'm talking we need gusto to the downside. We need this thing to nuke for alt season, right? The alt season everybody wants. And again, you know, it's very hard to guess. Like that, in my opinion, like if you don't understand the TA on the dominance chart or the total 3 chart, everybody was hoping for alt season in February. I don't know why. Like maybe because it's happened before. I just don't know why. But I feel like it was the only person, right? Which is so difficult, right? Because like when everyone else is looking for something else, I have to question myself. Is there something I am missing? And in the case of alt season, coming in February, I don't know, as we're reclaiming the macro value area low, which would generally be a bullish sign for dominance, I don't know why alt season would be expected in February. And that's why I stick to the charts and not just what people expect, right? You have to have a legitimate reason other than this has happened in the past. You could use history, right? Like we use history all the time. That's pretty much what TA is analyzing previous price action and, you know, seeing if something else similar can happen. Not all TA, right? We look at order flow too. It's a little different. But, yeah, like, I mean, understanding this, like, let's take a look at total 3, right? Yeah, I mean, we came up, we tested the key value area low as support, resistance, right? This is going to be resistance until proven otherwise. But I'll tell you this, just like on all the altcoins, daily green dot, if you get something like that, it would call for a breakage structure to the upside. The important thing about a breakage structure to the upside here is it would likely break you into this, I mean, not likely, if you're going to break structure here, you're going to break above that value area low. Once you flip that to support, that's where you could potentially fill this range. We need Bitcoin dominance to break down out of its value area, and we want total 3 to break into its value area. Once total 3 does this, that's where we could start to look for the big move up on all the altcoins, right? That's probably where it's going to start. And to be honest, right, it's the same thing back here, right? Back here in February, right? What is happening? We're losing the value area low. This is bearish. What happens? Continuation down. Now we're reapproaching This is what you want to see. This is like a big reason why in February I was not calling for alt season, right? Looking at Bitcoin dominance, what I just showed, and the total 3 chart. So yeah, but this is actually now looking nice. We've deviated below the low. Now we're reapproaching. We've tapped our head. As long as we can break above there, that's what's going to be looking good for altcoins. So you want total 3 above here, and you want Bitcoin dominance. Whoops. You want Bitcoin dominance out of here, right? What happened last time? Bitcoin broke out of this value area, right? You go to the high, you go to the low, you start losing this. March 2021, March, April, June, May, right? Massive dump down. We all know what was going on here. That's what we need. So you want Bitcoin dominance coming out, and you want altcoin total 3 coming in, right? Does that make sense? Same thing we look at on price. So there you go. Let's see. Getchy says, smash that like button. Well, actually, he said hit the like button, but I say smash it. Let's see. Shout out to Wick589. Said zeros on zeros on zeros. That's what my bank account balance says. Woo! I got a check from the shoe company now. I do anything that New Balance says. Oh. Shout out to Wick589. Dropping more bars in the chat. Let's go. Let's see. Chain link to $100, please. Shout out to JP. Let's go. I hope so. Big shorts coming in on... Someone said big shorts coming in on Bitcoin. Yeah. Has anybody seen that TikTok or Instagram reel of that guy in a furniture store? And he sits, they're like selling furniture, and he sits on an armchair, and he goes to push it back, and he goes, and you can recline it back. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Am I crazy? Am I the only person that knows that video? Let me know in the chat. That's the funniest video ever. And then his friends clown him. I love it. But anyway, I just made that noise. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, if they bring a lot of shorts up and if we start pulling in a lot of shorts, maybe we can squeeze them. That would be nice. Let's pull up Bitcoin again. Yeah, I mean, we're there. We're there, baby. She's knocking on the dang door. She's knocking on the dang door, baby. Let's go. XMR in price discovery. Let's see here. Oh, baby. She's pamping. Where's it at? Nope. Yeah, she's flying. Not price discovery, but she is pumping. She is pumping. Approaching the all-time high. Is this the all-time high? Maybe. I don't know if this is all the price history. But 508 would be the all-time high. But she's flying. She is definitely flying. Breaking out of that volume profile. Let's... Interesting. That's weird. All right, let's see here. So I would pull these into like 2 separate ranges. You have your lower range and your upper range. This is not the prettiest range, but yeah, PLC gave you resistance, broke above the PLC, really nothing above you until that value area high, and we flipped right into that value area high. Daily, green dot is confirmed, actually. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie, guys. Almost all these alts, daily green dots might be the thing to look for the next move to the upside. Pepe, green dot. ADA, green dot. Fartcoin, green dot. As you're approaching your value area high. Ondo, green dot. Virtuals, green dot confirmed. Tau, green dot. TARS, green dot. Tons and tons of green dots on a lot of these altcoins. Link's got the green dot. XRP, about to print the green dot. Brett, about to print the green dot. We'll see. We'll see. If you get those, that's your next best bet to start seeing the altcoins move. Maybe we start to see them run tonight into tomorrow. We will see. AVAX, shout out to Challenge Me. Shout out to you, bro. Let's take a look at AVAX real quick as we have not taken a look at it in a while. Do I have an AVAX chart here? Don't forget to smash the like button, guys, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our live streams every single weekday so you can catch these moves and predict them and learn. Not only see us do it, but learn yourself to take what we teach you on these live streams and through the tutorials on the channel. If you're new here, go watch through all the tutorials on the channel in the beginner series. It's like a free trading course, and learn how you can use this TA to predict the next move on your favorite altcoins or Bitcoin before they happen, right? Not 100% of the time, not magic, not a scam, but how to put in work and learn the TA so you can start to understand how the market moves in a very simple manner by using volume profiles as well as a bunch of other stuff. So check out the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on notifications so you don't miss our live streams. Shout out to Wick589 said, like button, smash or pass. I'm smashing the like button every single time. Let's see. Shout out to Mark. Says, Frankie, any chance USDT will 10x by July? Like the stablecoin USDT, or was there supposed to be another 3-part of that ticker? Let me know. Yeah, USDT is going to USDT is probably going to 10x by July. I would say so. So if you hold a lot of stablecoins, 10x that stuff. 10x that stuff. This thing is, I mean, just look at this, guys. Ever since 2021. This thing has been coiling up in the most crazy, bullish snake pattern I've ever seen. Just sweeping liquidity to the lows, ready to hit that $10 target, which, you know, it's going to be the most parabolic bull run you've ever seen on a stable coin. I'm not going to lie. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, obviously. I have to be very upfront about that. Is an SFP on the daily possible? For sure. For sure. Does Sui have a green dot? We could check it. Sui does have a daily green dot. Printing. And again, it's not a guaranteed move up, but that's like your best bet, especially with a lot of the coins that we've been looking at that are like inside their, like bouncing off their POCs, like holding a POC as support with a daily green dot. Like, you know, the anticipation there is bounce off support, daily green dot prints, and is able to push you higher. Again, not a signal, not financial advice, but, you know, that's just typically what you'll see. Money flow attempting to curve back to the upside as well. But let's go back here. What were we looking at before? I kind of forgot, to be honest with you guys. We're just kind of going, oh, it was Monero. Yeah, I mean, this would be the major, I mean, other than this, like all-time high is, or at least the high on this chart is at 520. You know, like, this would be like the next only thing really above you is the all-time high. If this is the all-time high on this chart, right? So, yeah, that is... Other than that, not really anything. Value area high becomes key support on the way down. But I don't know what's going on. This does look, this is kind of weird. Yeah, just massive rip to the upside. Unbelievable. Hang on a second. Hold on a second. Oh, no. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Let's see. It loves that POC. Let's go. I'm the only one. I'm only here so I can look at Market Cipher B since I can't afford it after all my super chats. Shout out to blockchain domain. Let's go. How do you change the settings to allow membership gifting? I've tried a couple times and can't find it. Shout out to LMI. I don't know. I've never done it either. But apparently it is in the YouTube settings. Hi, Golden. Shout out to Gabriel. Oh, Tony D is helping you out with that LMI, asking if you're on mobile or PC. Oh, if your account is brand new, you can't do it. Shout out to Hugos. I did not know that. AVAX, that's what it was. Yo, shout out to Challenge Me, bro. You just put me back on track. That's what we were looking at. I think, actually, Monero distracted us from AVAX. So let's take a look at AVAX real quick. AVAX. Okay, so we do have our chart here. Let's see. All right, so on AVAX, just get a grand idea of what's going on here. Let's pull our fib from the low to the high just so we can get our bearings. Would have really preferred to see this hold as support like down here, but you did test the POC of the range. At this point, right, key levels, I mean, we looked at AVAX not that long ago. Your key level of resistance, I don't know why that fib is pulled to that random level. Doesn't really change it much. But, yeah, your value area low, golden pocket retracement from this little lower high, right, confluent with that value area low. This is your key level of resistance, right? We're breaking out of our value area. If we could stay on top of this value area high and continue up, this level right here between 27.26 and 28.82 is going to be the next key level of resistance. Once you get back above that, you can push into the 786, flip the 786, go to the value POC. So the idea here is previous value you impulse out of this range, you get attracted to the POC, which is the strongest level within the profile. This is the balanced area. POC in the middle, strongest area within the profile. That is the strongest magnet. You impulse out of here, price is going to get sucked down towards that POC. If you lose the POC, then you can look to the low, but that POC is going to be the strongest magnet. We are now getting a bounce off that level. If we continue up here, price is going to gravitate towards the previous POC in this range. And eventually, you know, again, with looking at your daily money flow trying to come up, daily green dot printing, if you can keep this money flow in the green, it's technically coming out right now. 2-day money flow working its way up. You have a low, a higher low, a higher low. If that can continue up, cross over into the green, you can look for a push up into the range. And in that case, right, I would hope for a push into the POC, flip the POC, go up to the value area high. So your lower range, if you break below the value area high at 21.61, you could look for the POC. Lose the POC, look down to 12.37. But in the context here, hopefully we can keep this uptrend going, have money flow continue in the right direction, and continue price up a bit higher here. Flip that value area low to support. I would anticipate the push into the POC and eventually the fill range. You got to get above here, though. This is the wall. Doorway to higher prices sitting at 27.60. POC sitting at 35.98. Value area high at 49.17. POC is a magnet. CandleMafia's John Cena. That's 100% correct. Let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. 2 minutes until daily golden cross on Bitcoin. Shout out to Philly Gearhead. If you scrub back to the beginning of the stream, I give you guys my thoughts on the golden cross. Typically, I don't pay much attention to them just because I just don't think they're that useful unless it is confluent with the rest of the market, which in this case, this golden cross is. Very confluent with everything else that I'm looking at, so I actually do like this golden cross. A lot of people ask me about the death cross that happened down here. I didn't really care about it, and look at what happened, right? We didn't get the massive dump. But now we're getting the golden cross as we are having a lot of other things lined up. If you guys just tuned in, I highly recommend that you scrub back to the beginning of the stream and watch it through from the beginning because we covered everything in detail, exactly what I'm expecting, and a lot of the signs on Market Cypher B that could be indicating that even in the medium to long term, we could see a continuation up to hopefully some of these higher targets on Bitcoin. Shout out to Challenge B said, thank you, Frankie. No problemo. Let's see. How was Golden not number one? Yeah, how was Golden not have a number one next to his name? That's wild. Dude just dropped 100 memberships. Insane. And wait, did he just send another super chat or are these things just like moving around randomly? Yeah, these super chats are, I don't know. YouTube's been a bit glitchy lately, to be honest with you, with the super chats and everything. It's probably because they're testing this new ranking system, which is also super, super glitchy. Fire TA, shout out to Tales of Mystery. I appreciate you so much. But guys, here we are at 8 o'clock. I don't know how long we've been running here, but this is like, I think 4 or maybe even 5 hours live today with you guys. But these are all of my, thoughts on Bitcoin. If you didn't see the beginning, the stream earlier today, go ahead and check out the beginning of this stream. Watch it all through. We cover everything in detail. Let me just make sure I did not miss any. Let me just make sure I did not miss any super chats here. I think we got that. Taking profit. What's that? Okay, we got this. I think we got everything covered here. Shout out to the Purge. Thank you for the super chat. I don't think we saw this at 110K. Cheers. Let's go. Shout out to you, brother. Happy all-time high. Let's go. Shout out to JP. Revo Craft says BTC. Shout out to Revo. Let's go. Blockchain Domain said, and you missed it. All-time high. We cut the all-time high. How do we miss the all-time high? We watched it. We watched it. I'm in real time. Shout out to Blockchain Domain. Clapper Cheek says, when Pyth chart go up, Clapper want chart go up. Shout out to Clapper of Cheeks. Let's go. Is Pyth pumping? Is she pumping? Come on. Come on. She just might be stewing. She might be stewing here, ready for a move. Daily green dot is what I would watch. I actually don't like this money flow crossover into the red, to be honest with you. But we'll see what that daily green dot gives us. You did get your divs at the low here. Money flow just kind of wonked out there, though. But we'll try to take a look at Pyth at some point tomorrow, guys. I got to hop out of here. I got a bunch of stuff I got to do. And, yeah, I think that was, what was that? Is that what are we? It's 8 o'clock, 2 hours and 20 minutes. We already went over time. But, guys, with all that being said, if you missed, we covered a ton of altcoins and obviously went over Bitcoin in full. So if you missed that, just scrub back to the beginning of the stream. You'll have all your questions answered. And, yeah, with all that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Happy 110K. Wild day for Bitcoin. Glad I was able to cover it with you guys pretty much all day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I almost said clap that like button on the way out. Clap that golden pocket on the way out. All is N said, can you take a look at MOG? I will try to take a look at MOG tomorrow. I'll put it on the list. I'll write it here on the list tomorrow. But I do have to hop out of here. We're out of time. I wish I could look at every single altcoin, but we would literally, we would sit here all day long, which we basically already do. But with all that being said, thank you guys for being here. Shout out to Jay Violet. Shout out to Squash. Shout out to Brock. Shout out to Cryptic Crabman. CandleMafia's John Cena. George. Gig Along Bottom. Wayne T. Chaos. Crypto Billy. Crypto A9. Chemistry Bro. Captain Kirk. You guys know who the mods are. Show them love on the way out. Smash that like button. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up from my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
And we're back. Let's take a look at MOG right now because let's face it, guys, I'm not going to remember to look at it tomorrow. So let's go ahead and take a look at it right now. Let me try to get the most price action I can get here. Let's go ahead and do a speed tour of MOG. And actually, you know what I'm going to do here, guys? I'm going to use the Lux Algo free new indicator that they just made, or not even indicator, but their free volume profile regression channel, which pretty much allows you to pull volume profiles over trending price action. Okay. Not going to work in this case, I guess. That's crazy. It just like glitched out. Let's see. Is it going to work? Come on, give it to me. All right. It's not going to work in this case. I don't know if it's going over too much price action or what the deal is there. Hang on. Let me try one more time. Just go like from here to, yeah, okay. Interesting. It's just not working here. All right. Well, never mind. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pull a regular volume profile in that case. Let's go ahead and pull it here. And I might pull this a little bit differently. I might pull it like this. I'm just going to give you the key levels here because I do have to hop out, but I will pull it like this. It's like, I'll be quite honest with you. It's not the, yeah, I'm going to pull it. I'm going to pull this. Boom. There is your previous value. You have your value area low, POC, value area high. And I would look for, I mean, here you are, testing that value area low. Key level to break, 126.86. That's the doorway to higher prices, right here. Doorway to higher prices. Get above there. You could potentially open the door towards that POC sitting at 238.86. Flip above that, 280.36. I don't know how to read these. I don't want to butcher these zeros. So you can just screenshot these levels. Those are the key levels to look at, in my opinion. Doesn't look too bad as you're approaching that previous value area low. That's your doorway to higher prices. Check that 2-day. Looking to print that green dot 2-day money flow coming up. Does not look terrible. Doesn't mean it has to instant pop, but money flow coming up. There's not a lot of price history on this. Otherwise, I'd backtest it for you. But those 2-day money flow crossovers, especially on altcoins, typically indicate, right, money flow coming up, crosses over, big leg to the upside. Money flow crosses over into the red on the 2-day, massive move to the downside. Massive move to the downside. Money flow comes out, massive move to the downside, right? So 2-day money flow crossing over into the green. Green dot incoming. That might be the thing to look for the bigger move up. And if you do see it, that's the guide I would look at for price on the way up. So with all that being said, now that's actually all the time I got for you guys tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time. I love each and every single one of you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys more than you know. I don't just say that because I'm on camera. I say that because I mean it. I get to do what I love every single day because of you guys. So without further ado, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on the road. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to